to lower that music just enough. And okay, so I think we're good to go. Hello, everybody. It's me, Francisco, here for Sports Goofs number 186, joined by my good buddy Charles here for Dia de Pavo Dos.
I love the fact that we have that.
Yeah, it's the second one. We're finally running with an actual theme here, and yeah, it's been good. And this is a pre-Thanksgiving episode. We're supposed to be on Tuesday, but whatever, work stuff. So now we're doing it today, the day before Thanksgiving. We'll talk about Thanksgiving stuff, the start of the holiday season, because now it's the real start, right? After we ate all the turkey and all the stuff, and then all the deals are happening, all the stuff and the whatnot, and we got sports this week as well because everybody's off. And so we got, tonight, right now, happening at this moment, are the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins here in Sunrise. So it's a very, very big game, Charles, and I'm following it right now as we speak.
And I'm going to sim it.
Yeah.
Because today we're breaking the seal.
Yeah.
We're breaking the seal.
There it is.
So that will be the first game I will, as the Bruins and the Panthers, because I did get NHL 24.
Yeah.
It came in, Sunday or whatever?
You ordered it 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, and it was much delayed, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is this? What is this nonsense that happens as I'm literally popping up here in the intros, so I have to shift my headset a little bit. But it's something to do for the show. It's something to get invested into the sport that I do, commonly comment on. I watch some things. I paid money to see it, but this is a way to kind of educate.
Oh, these teams are going to kill each other, Charles.
There you go. They understand. They're fighting for my love. They're like, oh, Charles, pick up.
This is great. This is hockey.
For me, it's just more or less, too, is that you can only do the show, or I can only do, as I'm listening to the instructions of this guy's yelling at me, I'm just gonna shut it off. I can't do two things at once. I can only do so much, wrestling.
So what's happening? What's happening, Charles, right now?
I literally booted it up, and they were telling me about accessibility and stuff like that. I'm like, we're not prepared for this right now.
Oh, you're booting up right now. Is on the show. Okay, that's right.
The first time.
Okay,
the whole thing was like, okay,
all right.
I'm like, I'm like my
accessibility. All right, you need closed captioning. Can you see straight?
But not even just that. What kind of player
colorblind?
I learned, and I realized maybe this isn't the right game to play during the show the first time. I got a little cold feet there, boys.
Well, right now the Florida Panthers are currently trying to kill Charlie McAvoy.
No,
because the man had it out. He had a suspension already earlier this season for 4 games for elbowing in the head Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Okay. And this is the first time that we've had a chance to get back at him. And they have been getting back at him very much so thus far, Charles. And I'm loving it. And everybody in Sunrise is making sure that man is dead.
It's so serious for you.
Yeah, well, this is serious, Charles. It's
only the beginning. It's the beginning of the season, but it's so serious,
right? It's serious because you've seen Shoresy. Have you finished the season?
Last 2 episodes.
Damn it, Siri! I'm talking to you.
So I have the final 2 episodes left, which I've actually. Season 2's gone by very quickly. I have not finished it, but it's gone by very quickly. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I have. It's only 6 episodes, right? It's not much. They're not long anymore, and we got one more season after this, and it's over.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But there's a certain passion, and you just need guys to stay dead, or you need to set the tone, Charles.
You need to set the tone.
And it's early in the game.
We forgot that was supposed to be our thing.
Our fourth liners. Ryan Lomberg and I think Nick Cousins, like these guys, right? They're on the 4th line, and they're the energy guys. They're the guys that are there to set the tone, Charles. That's what your 4th line is for. And maybe your 3rd line.
Well, I'm going to be learning that after the show. I opted to go Tony Hawk Pro Skater remaster for the moment. Okay. What I've been doing for a bit is shifting. I've been shifting like every hour. I'll change it to a different game. But WWE was taken up a little bit. A little. If you guys have not picked up Tony Hawk, by all means, you should spend your money on it if you want to relive your youth when you didn't have.
That's the
gray
remake,
hair.
right? It's the remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2.
All right. So, and right now, Charlie McAvoy and Nick Cousins are jawing at each other in the penalty box right now, as we've had offsetting roughing penalties at this point. It's oh man, Charles, it's happening. This is a game. Someone's gonna die tonight. Someone's gonna die. I'm hoping it'll be enough Boston tears, right? Because they're like, oh, the Celtics beat the Heat earlier, and the Heat don't care.
Yeah, we let me tell you about Miami fans. We do not track anything that is done amongst the other sports. I feel as a fan base, it is not that dick riding one that a lot of Boston sports have between the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, and then I feel like I'm missing one. The Patriots.
Well, they're forgettable. So yeah,
and that's the whole thing. Like, but Miami, I have not met. College doesn't count because Boston College doesn't have that kind of legacy. All I ever remember from Boston College is Matt Ryan. I have not met the holy trinity of Marlins fans, Dolphins fans, and Heat fans all in one sit-in. There's always something, and they'll watch it for the playoffs. But I'm talking about all of it. You know what I mean?
Like a whole diehard thing.
A trio, the holy trinity.
Yeah.
Like not the Mets, Jets, Islanders combo, right?
Yeah.
That's always, I think, of the Seminole New Yorker or the Giants, Rangers, Yankees. And it's even me. I'm like from New York. I'm like, I got into all sports in different stages of my life, and it's like Yankees, but I'll be caught dead before I I think the only time I supported the Giants was I was kind of like, you know what? I don't want to see a perfect season.
Yeah.
I think that was it. I'm like, no, I'm good on that, dog. I don't need that. And then Rangers, I'm like, you're educating me, so I will have to, whatever your recommendation was between the Rangers and the Dallas Stars, I think was the other one that you told me to play as I get my runs in, because I could probably pop in 3 hours. I just can't do it now. When I saw how it was going to give me tutorials and everything, and since when it's a 3-man show, I can do some weird stuff. It's been a 2-man show lately until Andrew gets situated on a lot of stuff. So then I'm like, ugh, Francisco actually needs me. So I mean, unless we get the Ghost of Douglas Pass, where we get Tuggy in, that should be interesting. We should try to invite him for the 200th. I think
I've told him. I've mentioned to him, hey man, you're back in town, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, let's go from there. But have you met the Holy Trinity?
They're online, but I've never really. I mean, there are people.
It's weird.
It's not. Once again, it's not hardcore because I don't think there's ever been a point. I mean, it's been 30 years since all of these teams. Now that they have the 4 teams,
at the
right?
Same time, yeah.
So
the thing is,
Heat and everything kind of came late 80s, early 90s, where it's suddenly boom, all these other teams. And it's and then you have the Dolphins for 2 decades before that. So you see mainly people who are Dolphins fans, and then they'll like the other stuff. But I think it's starting to get there now with more people that are
that will
growing
make you
up
laugh.
here.
You'd never get the Fabulous 5, including the UM, because it's only the people who are just going to Dade County or MDC, or the people who are just with a GED high school education that support Miami somehow. When it's all 5, in my time meeting somebody, I'm just saying.
No, yeah, there. I would love to have a survey done. The University of Miami is never gonna do it because it'll hurt their boosters or something that.
Yeah.
They find out most of their sports fan base. Well, it's not even sports because it's football, and the ones that are actual UM fans are trying to prop up the
basketball.
Well, they're trying to prop up the basketball. Be like, look, we're a school and we support all our teams. You guys don't give a shit because you guys have actually a pretty good baseball program too, and nobody talks about that. And then it's you happen to have the college basketball team. And you guys mention the women's team, but I just feel like you guys don't want to sound like you're chauvinists or whatever.
They couldn't profit off the Cavender twins because they're both one retired.
They transferred, right? One transferred.
One retired and one came back, but her eligibility is going to be elsewhere. So. Miami is about marketability. The UM is about marketability, not Miami itself. And
they suck at it because
football was the only
is terrible. And let's start with them now.
Yeah, sure.
Let's start.
Fine.
Let's go.
This is a sports show, everybody. We're gonna get weird. We promise.
But we might as well talk about sports because it's happening. And Miami plays Boston College, but they lost again. And there's no. now I don't hear the excuse of, oh, that's a good loss.
No, right?
Not anymore.
That was a game we once again could have won, right?
Hmm.
You know, to beat them, to beat Louisville would have been very nice. And you're starting to see how it all comes into fruition, where you're just like, okay, maybe there are pieces of a puzzle to have a team that you don't want to see to play against, and then it's just Mario Crystal like, hi, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck, too? Because that's how it is. I'm like, I don't like Tyler Van Dyke, because the problem is Tyler Van Dyke obviously has not found what he has to be. And that's no fault of himself. It's because Mario Cristobal has an image of what he ought to be. You know, Tyler Van Dyke just needs to be a safe player. You have Restrepo, I can't say his name properly. You guys, I can barely say my own name properly, according to every Hispanic woman I've ever
Javier Restrepo.
Javier Respeto, right?
Restrepo.
Restrepo.
He's probably not even Latino. Is he Latino? I have no idea.
I don't
it says Xavier
so.
Restrepo. Okay, Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah, but you know,
it would be Javier if he was Latino.
Listen, no one called me when I was down there. Those who found my name, they're like, Chales? They're like, no, we're just gonna call you Carlos. Well, yeah. I mean, for educational purposes, for our non-Spanish speaking people here, is that the S is a very hard word for people to say, for Hispanic, like pure out, you know, high Cuban demographic and everything. And now, so imagine the S in front of the E. So that's where the enunciation. My brother-in-law's mother, love her to death. She's gonna be making some Thanksgiving food, which, you know, includes rice, right? And she's like, it's chales, and you know, it's just there. And every other people, like my grandmother, pure Argentinian, mind you, living in this country for decades, refuses to speak English, and she'll just say chale if she has to, because, you know, I'm like, you're Argentinian of all Spanish. Have you ever heard other Argentinians talk that weren't me? You're like, oh, okay, you're still whitewashed, all right. But to the point, because we'll say the multicultural ethnicity stuff for when we get to the Thanksgiving commentary. There's pieces of the puzzle, and then you see Mario Cristobal, you're like, but why? But why though? But why? It's like, you know, being interested in somebody and you want to go on a date, and they're like, but my friend has to come too, or my little cousin has to come, or for what? It's like that weird thing. You're like, dude, I'm trying to get some action here. You know, the stuff I want to do to you, I can't do with like minors present.
Yeah,
okay,
I can't say these things.
Yeah, I can't mac on you, baby. I can't mac on you. And so that's how I feel with them. And it's just never going to change. And then what I'm going to hear in the off season is what was actually, I think, you know, the predecessors of Manny, well, actually not Manny Diaz, but I think coming into when it was Mark Rick, we're like, we have a good transfer class and we feel like we could be confident, take the next step in the programs. I'm like, you're calling these plays are stupid, bro. You can't fix stupid. Much like this country, if you're ignorant and stupid, it's terrible. Being ignorant as a college football coach means you don't actually know your players that you have, and you want to implement an offense that is not feasible. I'll die on that hill. I've been saying it for, 9 weeks now. And it's just so frustrating. And then, of course, Andrew, if I could publish the group chats, we'll get to it. But Andrew's like, yeah, spells suck without you. But also then UCF lost. I'm like, you can't say unexceptional without the UC. And he was like, dead ass quiet. We are mean when it comes to college football. I think that's the only thing we're rivals.
But I didn't even really. I mean, one, I feel like that's punching down now. That's how low I think of football now, that UCF punches down to them. And look, I don't know if you saw Jordan Travis's leg injury.
I saw it. I feel so bad.
It went the other way.
It was so unfortunate.
I saw that he got injured. I'm like, and so I'm like, well, you know, man, they said like he broke his ankle. I'm like, let me look at that. And I'm like, that is not a broken ankle.
Yeah, that is everything.
That is a completely shattered leg. Like if his skin wasn't there, it would have landed someplace else.
You know that GIF or meme or whatever you want to call it these days of the guy cooking the smoker with the barbecue and then the meat falls off the bone? That was him.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I don't really ever want anybody to get hurt, especially the college kids, because they had no financial payout and they would have to try to find insurance, right? Unless you're I'm just saying, all them quarterbacks, right? So Johnny Manziel. The point being is, and then some people are like, oh, rivalry, FSU, UM. I'm like, do I look like an animal too? When it comes to sports, I'm an animal on a lot of stuff, like my justification for eating candy and sweets and everything. But do I literally care?
Deals.
Finding deals, which is so weird. We'll get to that later. I do find it funny. Like, I would say it though, like if we cause the injury, I'm like, oof. But to bring up Andrew's point, because he's not here, but we'll speak in the spirit of Andrew, right? The ghost of Christmas Andrew, right? The ghost of college Andrew. That's how we'll title this on some things. I agree with him that I don't think that they should still get a college football playoff spot. Why? Because I've seen Nick Saban replace Jalen Hurts with Tua Tagovailoa to come and win. Backup quarterbacks, it's not that deep, y'all. It's not that deep.
They were down 13-0, and then they came back and scored 56 points. So it wasn't
precisely.
So there's
it ain't that deep.
They're playing Florida, and that's not a good team. And if they just kind of hold steady and play it safe, and the guys got all week to practice with as a first unit, whatever, then hopefully that's enough to get them through and get to the ACC championship game. They'll play Louisville, which will actually be a challenge.
Correct.
And then because they're a top 10 team, and then we'll see. But if they run the table, why can't they be number 4?
Exactly. Your two weaknesses.
They've been number 4 all season. So
you need an ACC rep. Plain and simple. Your two weaknesses are your defense is cause of concern. When Emory Williams, who wasn't like anything, was starting for us, was able to just throw some deep ones. But 2, your other enemy yourself is the NCAA, because I don't understand how you accept a Harbaugh ban, but you're not doing a bowl ban, you guys. I don't care if it affects other kids. They're still going to get drafted. But they're not even going to play. These kids, if it's anything but the finals, and as I'll tell you now, he don't go to the finals, they're not going to play. It is ridiculous. And the reason why I bring that hatred is because who was on the death sentence, wavering on it for the sanctions that they wanted to kill the program? Miami. For more egregious things, sure. But what you got on Harbaugh was what just you were able to find. I can guarantee you there's probably a lot more, bud. But you guys don't want to go and seek, and you don't want to, just take 3. And the whole thing was the AD was like, listen, just take the 3-game suspension because they're going to investigate more, you clown. So I'm pissed at that. But you guys should, arguably, I think should be 3. I ran down the list of who everybody plays, and it's nothing impressive in my eyes. I did this with my paralegal. He's an FSU fan, so it's good camaraderie. It actually helps me prepare for the show when him and I talk stuff, when I can actually get more ideas. Side note, him and a couple other people think that if I don't get Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Titans, we should get Keon Coleman. No, I actually know Keon Coleman, because that's the thing. If whoever your teams are, I will keep note of it for our show. Yeah. Or if you're a friend of mine, so it does help out.
So we've got. All right, I'll look through the rankings. I haven't even looked.
Let's do it.
So
Ohio State, I don't know how they're there.
So everybody else is down here, and James Madison finally lost. That was like a story all season.
And they wanted it too. I mean, I don't think they should have had like but I don't think you should deny their waiver if they ran a perfect season. That's the whole thing about everything. It's like let them just get toast like Cincinnati did, and they get the rival ass whooping.
They'll have the expansion of the playoff or whatever. So we'll see what happens with that. Tennessee is number 25, but their number 24 is James Madison.
They get so many passes, dude. They've lost like 3 games, man.
Yeah. They've lost 4 games actually.
Oh, Tennessee lost the 4th one this weekend?
Yeah, they lost twice.
How you could be ranked 24? I'm sorry. Where's the parity?
25.
I'm sorry. How you can lose 4 but be ranked still?
Because it's kind of weird.
The program, your program sucks.
They're in the SEC.
But
I mean, I just imagine. I don't even know who's like
you
at
get the
same
Little
level.
Caesars Bowl, but
Toledo is 23. Liberty.
What's their win-loss record?
Is 10-1.
Yeah, sure. Let them be. You see how it makes sense? Any 10-1 team, even on the weird scale, the American and all that stuff, can be there.
Liberty's 11-0.
Yeah, fair. Liberty's been kind of famous since your Tennessee Titans. Malik Willis, our best, or one of our backup QBs, was doing some stuff there.
OK State is 21-3. Iowa's 20, and they're 9-2.
Yeah, fair. They don't have a sexy offense. I've watched like 2 games or 1 game this season.
Kansas State's 8-3, they're 19. Tulane is 10-1, they're 18.
Okay.
Notre Dame is 17, they're 8-3.
Shouldn't even be ranked.
Arizona 8-3 as well at 16. Oregon State 8-3 as well, 15. LSU is also 8-3. They're 14.
Definitely shouldn't be that high ranked. That's the SEC Brian Kelly. We've been shitting on Brian Kelly for 5 years. 3. We have look into it. We're like, how does he keep getting work?
Let's see, what's it? Oklahoma is 9-2. They're 13.
You would think they're higher with 1, the program, 2, the consistency that they're getting. I know who they lost to, and I get that. But
but I don't know. Maybe people are just tired of seeing them up there that high and not proving anything. Ole Miss is 9-2. They're 12. Penn State's 92, and they're 11.
Penn State got blown the hell up.
Yes, they did.
So how are you gonna have them that high?
Because the name. It's always the name. Mizzou is 10. They're 9 and 2. Louisville's 9, 10 and 1. Alabama is 8, 10 and 1. Texas is 10 and 1. They're 7. Oregon is 10 and 1. They're 6. And then we have the rest of the undefeated teams. FSU at 5 now because
What?
Yeah, Jordan Travis gets injured, and that's where they're sitting at. Yeah,
It's the same logic of how people are trying to tell me Ohio State should be 1. Well, I'm like, but Georgia, who was ranked coming into it, never lost a game, mind you, loses its positioning.
Washington is 4. Michigan is 3. Ohio State's 2, and then Georgia's 1.
And then Georgia's 1, yeah.
So
there you go.
But Michigan's gonna be there. So
fine, let them be there, because for several years, for 5 years that we've
let
been
them
doing
lose
the
in the
show,
playoff then.
Yeah, you know, for 5 years we're like, I'm like, have they even gone to the college football finals? And when they did, they got destroyed.
Find something stupid, and then Jim Harbaugh can go back to coaching the NFL.
He's gonna go work for the Raiders, or he's gonna go work for the Patriots.
He's going to Washington,
or he's going to I don't know. Well, yeah, they're gonna pay big money. That's right. They don't have sexual abuser.
You know, who's the coach? Ron Rivera?
Ron Rivera's getting fired.
Yeah,
definitely getting fired.
Yeah, so yeah. And they don't even have hot water. They'll bring him in for the new stadium. That's what they'll.
Well, you know, he's so angry all the time that he could just steam the water and make it hot by just touching it. Harbaugh, we're going on this route. Harbaugh is the fakest, angriest man I've seen. Ryan Day's outburst against the old guy, Nance, not Jim Nance. I'm sorry, not Jim Nance. You know who I'm talking about. Lee Corso.
Oh, okay.
That was just stupid angry. You know what's stupid angry? You just get angry for no reason, like you're having a bad day and your shirt gets stuck in something.
Wait, is that the guy from Ohio State?
Yeah.
No, he was getting mad at Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz. I'm sorry. There you go. My bad. Like I don't care, guys. Just stop. You guys shouldn't be playing for analysts. But Lou Holtz. I can't speak. Lou Holtz was the Notre Dame coach, man. So, yeah, it makes sense. He's going to support his teams even at 105. Are you going to fight him, Ryan Day? You're just stupid angry. You're probably having a hard day. And then you're like, I'm going to turn this attention on some, 80-year-old man. Okay. John Harbaugh's like, ah! And you're just like, okay, calm down, Bruce Banner. Because we can sense fake. We know when a toddler tantrum happens. And right now, I'm seeing it.
All right. Well, that's all I can say about college football.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I don't care.
Okay.
I've been more invested, even if my teams are losing, because I think it's not as predictable and it's not as empty the way that NFL has been this season. NFL's been bad, man. Bad for me. I'm like, ugh.
All right. Well, let's see. We've got what else happened though? The MLB awards to finish out.
Are we doing this right now? All right. Let me put the controller down. Go ahead. Lead us, please.
Okay. So that was last week. We talked about the side job, right? Already? We didn't get it? Oh, okay. Well,
because remember, it was announced post-show.
Let me get the dumb stuff out the way. MVP was Acuna because everybody knew it, but do it in the playoffs because you fucking suck when it actually matters.
I'm sorry. I understand that we like stolen bases. If I can comment to support your argument, because I don't think you're going to take away my opportunity to shit on the Braves.
I got one on mine. Yeah.
Stolen bases are sexy to me if it leads to some kind of run production or if you steal home. If it all leads to nothing, it is the emptiest stat. It is the emptiest calorie. It is iceberg lettuce. Do you understand? Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen? Because it should have been Mookie. It should have been Mookie, and I will die on that hill that it should have been Mookie. And this isn't me hating on Acuna, but the hitting wasn't really there comparison to those two, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, but he got 50 stolen bases. I won't even tether into the cheap argument that is possible. Speaking about the convenience of the banning of the shift, but I want someone so I can eat my words to show me the data of how him stealing home led to pressure on the pitcher to give up a run, because that's all that matters. Stealing it doesn't matter if it doesn't steal home. Or I guess leads into something, right? Leading into that.
Yeah.
Leading to a run being scored.
And I don't know. I'm going to just look. I'm just going to do a Google search real quick.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting real deep in this. Yeah.
I just want to see.
As you as
I'm
a
doing
fan, do you
like a
care about stolen
cursory.
bases?
I'm doing like a cursory search of like stolen bases, like ranking runs scored after stolen bases, right? Like if you
Yeah,
got
that's a
if your
stat that we should
boys
have, right?
if your boys can bring you in, right?
Yeah.
And you were directly involved in putting yourself in scoring position for them to bring you in, right?
Yeah.
So
So
I can't find it. I keep seeing articles about the 40-70 season, which doesn't really matter. Once again, asterisks all over the place. The stolen base the bases are the size of pizza boxes now, large pizza boxes, and
banning the shit.
pitchers can't throw over more than 3 times, and you've got shift being banned and all that stuff. So this isn't like Ricky Henderson's stolen base seasons. It's even more emptier of a calorie than anything else.
It's a Mio. The
Yeah.
Mio, like you just make water sexy because
Yeah.
you can't just drink the damn water.
And then,
Oh,
I know it's a regular season award, but all that disappeared come playoff time. So,
but even if the thing is, man, anything that's inconsequential, even it might be good, is inconsequential. And that's what it was. Yeah, good for him for doing it. I'm not going to take away the fact that he does have the capability to steal bases in the modern day time with the way that they have it. But to go on the stat of to overtake it on batting average, fielding, because you should consider that with your baseman, right? Or anybody who's playing on the field. Homers, OPS. I don't like WAR as a stat for obvious reasons, but
yeah.
whatever. I'd rather just take the I like OPS because it's combining
Yeah.
your on base percentage, slugging, all
yeah.
that stuff. Like that to me makes sense.
Yeah.
I can work with that. But yeah, what benefit did it have? And that was my piece on it. I felt that my paralegal is a Braves fan, so he's like, "Shut up, Charles." And I'm like, okay.
Well, Braves fans are used to having empty 100-win seasons. So there you go. And Otani got the American League MVP.
Fine. Yeah.
So
Should have had it last year. Should have been the first back to back.
Yeah. But nobody wants to give it to the man just yet. But we'll see what happens with all of the free agency and all that stuff that's going to be happening. All right, the National League Cy Young Award winner, because let's get this one out of the way too.
Please.
Blake Snell.
Good for him.
San Diego is going to get paid this offseason. Because I don't know if the Padres are going to keep him. Their owner just died, right? So that now they're in flux.
They had to take out a short-term loan.
Yep, they're in flux.
And what people don't understand is that for a high administration and probate estate, there's a lot of money that's going to be taken out of that just to get that going. So it's going to be put into a trust, and it's not going to be touched. So yeah. If he's the one personally cutting checks, guys, that ish ain't happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let those dominoes fall, right?
Yeah.
Let them fall as it is, where you have to really, because pitchers sometimes are the very much make or break situations, and let the fall, because I will take place now.
Yeah. I mean,
we are in the play.
I'm just thinking of the whole situation we're set. Like, I know he won the award. Good for him. He's great and all that stuff. And the one Rays guy that actually did something after he left Tampa. But, man.
Because it was Blake Snell, and it was the, damn it, yeah. And then he got traded, and he sucked afterwards. I forgot his name.
The guys who leave Tampa, like, they're good in that system, but most of them just kind of suck afterwards.
Matt Garza's the only one I remember, because I think he had a no-hitter with the Cubs, and he was just average at best, if you remember him.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys, but Blake actually, goes and wins another Cy Young Award. So there you go, good for him. But man, San Diego, that's an awful situation right now.
Yeah, and then also they have to figure out him, and they have to figure out what to do about Soto, because they are not re-signing Soto. I'm telling you guys that now. You don't need him, ideally, and then you commit all that money to Tatis Jr., who at least had a respectable season, right?
Yeah.
But
so you have Soto, you have that you have to try and work with. You're sort of you say you're in the running for these two Japanese guys, and what's this guy's name? Yoshi.
I'm gonna butcher that. Yamatobe, something like that.
Yeah, there. Yamamoto. Is it that?
Yamamoto. No, okay. I feel like that's not. I want him. I'm gonna call him Yoshi. Okay,
Yoshi. There we go. And Otani, but I don't even know how you're gonna be able to do that.
Well,
With
you play. This is how the Otani situation is tough too, because can you pay him as a DH? Because I don't know if you could pay him as a pitcher,
Yeah, we'll see.
right?
I mean, he wants to pitch, but if the entire situation comes to, well,
He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries, bud.
if you can't do it a third time, and we can't have you going down just for that, because I'm kind of amazed. And maybe I'm just not familiar with the anatomy and stuff like that of the arm, but the fact that you can hit while still having a torn UCL,
I mean,
know.
dude, I could barely lift weights with a. Not, I don't think torn, rotator cuff. Definitely strained.
Yeah, no, rotator cuffs you can't do nothing with that.
You
but,
do some stuff.
Well, some, but like not.
I
I don't
get
think you can hit.
here, baby.
I don't think you can hit with a torn rotator cuff. But regardless, I don't see how you would have him keep pitching if that's the case. But
it just reminds me of Wade just shaving his meniscus. He's like, I don't need it, and then all the time he's like, I regret everything about doing that. Why did I listen to that doctor?
Yeah. So the thing with the Padres is, well, how do you afford this guy? And like that team's gonna blow up. They lost their manager already. He went over to San Francisco,
which is saying something.
Not because he sucked, because Bob Melvin's done less with more.
Well, they hired Mike Schlick. Sorry, Schilt. Sorry, Mike. I was pronouncing it phonetically of how I saw it because Schitt's Creek. Yeah, I'm not counting that as curse words, by the way. It's pronunciation.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We're good with that.
So. And he was good in St. Louis. They just fired him because they went with the guy that they felt that was better, which was whatever his name was at the moment. I'm off the MLB mind, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and here's the thing: it's just I think people forget because San Diego's trying to get that mainstream appeal. They've sucked for so long as an organization that this is just it will make them the biggest laughing stock. It will make them a legitimate. You try to spend big, you couldn't be big, bro.
They've done everything to try and be a brand, right? To try and get there and be.
And they've had the players too. That's
part of the echelon of. All right, we're part of the elite group of MLB teams now, right? It's LA, it's Chicago Cubs, it's the New York Yankees, it's the Atlanta Braves, it's San Francisco Giants, the Boston Red Sox, and now it's the San Diego Padres. And
don't you guys know it's Latin for whale's vagina, according to Von Burgundy?
Yeah, so they couldn't do it. They were trying to do, they're trying to do what the Texas Rangers succeeded in,
which is based off the 2009 blueprint of the Yankees.
So. That's what they were trying to do, and they failed. They failed miserably. They made one playoff run that got them to the NL. Well, I think they had 2 seasons. They
got to the NLCS last year.
Yeah, they had the COVID season, and they lost to the Dodgers, and then they had the NLCS last year, which was like the peak of all of this. But man, you're going on the 5th year of this.
Yep.
And you have 2 playoff appearances, one in the shortened season. And then last season, which was good, but then you got spanked by the Phillies.
Yep.
And you've got nothing to show for it. You changed your logo back to brown and yellow, all this other stuff, trying to make yourself a thing. And now you're still the Fraudres. You've always been. And
we coined that ish. We coined that ish 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
How do you regress to the point where, like, now the Diamondbacks, the team in your division that nobody expected, gets to the World Series? You guys can't even do that, right? The Marlins made the playoffs.
Yep.
You lost to the Marlins.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a failure, but not on Blake Snell's part, and he's gone. He's gone. He's not coming back. I can't predict him staying, especially with all this stuff now. Boston Bruins are winning 1-0. It's been a very chippy game, Charles. There's been like 40 penalties in the first period already. And
they want me. They were like, Charles, we want you. We have Brad Marchand. Let us be the first team that you play in like a decade and a half.
Right now it's their father's trip, so all the dads are on the road with them. And they usually do these father's trips when they're coming to like Florida to play the Panthers and the Lightning, or they go to Vegas and see the Golden Knights. They never, like, nobody does a farthest trip and brings their dad over to Boston or Winnipeg. So, I'm just putting that out there as part of the petty here. Um, anyways, Charles, there's one award left that we haven't spoken about. So, about the first, actually, yeah, about after opening day, because I remember the time, because the opening day that happened, and we did our first episode like that first Tuesday, like 4 days into the regular season, and that's when we had our actual, hey, this is what we're gonna predict for the rest of the season, right? And I of course did not have no expectations that the Marlins would make the playoffs. So
You're Francisco.
yeah, it's happening, I guess. And all right, I had a good season, but I would never have predicted that the Marlins would have made the playoffs. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect that team to just barely make it, but they made it. Now, Charles, you had your own expectations, but maybe not for your Yankees, as a team, because a certain manager always gets in the way.
Always. God damn it.
But
Is that my tell? Is that my tell of all my teams? Except for Spoelstra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, even Mike Rabel, who I tolerate, is kind of like rude.
Did you hear Barry McConaughey's thing when he talked about the Titans game?
No, I didn't.
Mike Rabel, who freelances as a Naughty America actor.
Yeah. He Mike Rabel has the build of a porn actor for women only.
So,
for gay men, whatever they like, whatever floats their boat.
He ranked pretty high on our handsomest coaches list. So.
Yeah, I think I had him as a runner-up to Sean McVay.
Yeah. So, anyways, there was a certain clip that's, gosh darn it, hold on. Let me find that right now. I'm gonna play it into my microphone at this moment. 1 second. Let me go to the Sports Goofs account. Charles, plug the stuff.
Oh yeah, follow us on the Twitter, Charles the True, FJOGR, Danfree Sports _Goofs. It is hockey season. Please follow Panthers historian. Not only does he get monetary funds, he actually knows what he's doing. And who is he following? Kevin Weeks.
Who follows me? Kevin Weeks. Kevin Weeks follows me and likes my stuff and retweets my stuff.
I will follow Kevin Weeks because of it. And I also Roy Bellamy, Dan Le Batard's show. Where they got picked up by Max. Yeah. We are going to
Billy Gill, Chris Cody. Mike Ryan,
Jeremy Taché. Mike Ryan. We show the right way with compliments, because you want to know why, guys? Real recognizes what? Real.
Let's see. I'm trying to find it right now, Charles. Trying to find it. Gosh darn it. Hold on. I know it's here. And I will find it, because I need this to be heard by people. I had it time-stamped and everything. Oh, here we go. I found it. That you called it since day one. Not necessarily day one, but the first couple of days.
Game.
Yes. So let me go on over and pause it. So this was on April 4th, 2023. Sports Goofs number 167. Charles giving his predictions for not the New York Yankees, but a certain boy, a certain man, a certain goofy man.
He likes bone marrow.
Yeah, he likes bone marrow. He's kind of a goofy looking guy, but you gotta love him. Gives that little wag of the finger that became a very nice gif.
He told Aaron Boone to go fuck himself. 6.
Yes.
There we go. Take me out of the game.
So here we go. Let's play this.
I should have done a cold jump prediction. I'm going to do the cold jump prediction now, taking this into account. I am predicting, Andrew's going to look at me and laugh. I am predicting, I'm going to go big here, because I feel like last year he was a little bit off his game, but he had high strikeouts that year at Balloon. I am predicting, boys, 14 cold drops.
14?
14. I'm going big. Because I am trying to make this man the true Mr. Yankee, the true face of the franchise.
Make him that. I mean, that's a Cy Young right there. That is a Cy Young.
Well, Charles, it was a Cy Young. Go ahead. Take your victory lap.
Sometimes you just know. Joan of Arc is sometimes considered to be a victim of persecution, but a harbinger of God. I like to view myself as a harbinger of Cole. The man has a segment dedicated to excellence. The Henry Handy, dedicated to excellence. Unfortunately, we haven't had that for a bit. The Cole jobs, dedicated to excellence. We don't have anything in basketball. It's more me just gushing over certain players, right? That's how it is. But I just knew. I just knew. I felt like, you know what? Because we don't know how to read pitchers sometimes. The guys who we think are going to have excellent years and, not having excellent years. There's always a sneaky person that comes into it. You don't always have the consistency, but the guy was always consistently good, great. He, like I had mentioned on the show 7 months ago, we were talking about whether or not he could fix the wonkiness of it. And I felt that he did, and I just felt it. I just knew it. And to be dead on with the predictions hurt because we were like, I took a little bit of the over, and there was like 6 quality starts that weren't even accrued or accounted for because the Yankees just couldn't finish it out. But the man was just every level, every win. And I just felt it. I knew. And it's stand by your man. And I will always stand by them. So he's getting the side job. I am rehabbing my right arm to be ready for you, Garrett, because you have been my prize, my idolization, my obsession. Be still my heart when I see you and I hear you talk about bone marrow. You are my Ophelia. You are my focus, man. You make my world go around in baseball because I have one guy who's good in the regular season that doesn't step up in the postseason. We got another one who is beautiful, and he actually does contribute in the postseason more than Judge, but he gets hurt all the time. Best body in the league, though, with Giancarlo. We got a guy that we're probably going to let go with Gleyber, and I don't have much to kind of live for. I'm evaluating some of the young cats that are coming into it, even though I think Volpe is going to be a stud if he could just not strike out. But in baseball, it doesn't matter. But you're a knockout, baby. You ain't a strikeout. You're a knockout. You only deliver strikeouts, and you knock me out every time you're on that mound. The funny thing is, man, I was thinking about it too. I was like, would I make the same prediction next year? And I'd be like, no, right? Because you sometimes you don't get those repeats that much anymore. But this is well deserved. I'm glad he's with a Yankee into it. The haters who hate it can really just, I got 2 words for you. Suck it, right? Because who else was better than him? Who else? You want to give this Sonny Gray? Okay, yeah, they're in the World Series, but fine. And you want to call it regular season awards, but he was the most dominant starting pitcher. So it's not as if there was nothing to make arguments of. And you know what was best about this? Which is why I probably take a little testosterone and get some injections to get some anabolic steroids in there. He was unanimous.
Yep.
It's kind of a rare thing. And it's either you can say that, oh, the selections were bad. I'm like, really? Sonny Gray is on
Minnesota.
No, he's on. I think he's in Texas now.
Wait, Sonny Gray? I thought it was with the Twins.
He might be on the Twins. Let me go from there.
Hold on, I'll look it up while you keep talking. But yeah,
he was on the Twins.
He's a free agent now. So
I'm thinking Nathan Eovaldi. Sorry,
Yeah,
kids,
Nate Eovaldi. Was the other one. And
but there was the other one.
You can sign Sonny Gray if you want to add him to the staff. No,
we've had him. We don't need Kevin Gossman. Sorry, it was Sonny Gray and Kevin Gossman, and then from the Toronto Blue Jays. But for all you guys who want an Alec Montauk, and for all you guys who are hoping for the Chris Sale bounce back, and all you guys who are
Manoah. Manoah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Manoah, and all the guys who are hoping that Verlander and DeGrom were going to do something. I'm sorry, because what Garrett Cole is, and it's something I use in the office lately because I do mantras just to help me get through the workday. It's a very stressful job. Is he's the EOE, just like me. What is the EOE of? He's the excellence of excellent, baby. And that's what it is. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna say you're welcome. I saw his little interview when he won it, and his wife was like, I'm gonna kick her out of the room for the night. Okay, I gotta handle this. I have a job to do. I'm a man of my words. My word is my bond. I'm very happy for him. And this is great for being a Yankee fan. In hindsight, last year we get the reigning MVP for the AL, and then now we get the Cy Young. It is kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a sweet thing because what does it do? It keeps us relevant. It makes us prominent. It keeps butts in seats, right? Keeps kids off drugs, right? From Shoresy. And it maybe could entice another stud pitcher to join us because God knows we need that too.
There's 3 on the market right now. Even Sonny Gray, there's 4. He could bring him back.
Yeah, sure. It's
New
always weird.
York.
Like you leave us and then you get better. I'm like, what is this nonsense? And Yankees need to spend the whole holiday. Need to spend. You just need to spend on the right guys.
Mhm.
But Garrett Cole, thank you for giving me life because I was obnoxious in this group chat. If you guys, we could publish it all. You could publish my whole thing. He's on the 7. I'm going to be right. He's on the 6. He's going to be right. Guys were there. And then on the day I got to the 14, I'm like, Francisco, find the audio. Find the audio. I was, just
Yeah.
that's how it was. He made me, who is
Receipts.
an analytical, stoic person with a little bit of the Hispanic fever into him, act all crazy like I'm seeing the 1999 boy bands live. And thank you, Garrett Cole. And I love you.
Yes. Very good, Charles. The side job, everybody. It happened. It actually happened. Man.
Never will we be that we are analytical, guys. We don't talk out of our
I mean,
ass.
this is probably the peak of Charles Stradamus.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Because that's a long-term prediction. Like you can make predictions like in the moment where you can see like the momentum changing to certain things, or like within like a week of something, the things as they're running up to it within like a week or a couple weeks. Like, okay, this kind of feels like this team is doing this, right? But this was we're gonna get like 14, 15 of these, and then it's like this is positive. Yeah, it's basically a Cy Young. It's like there it is, it happened. So, wow. Just a great day. It was a great day that day, for sure. We are at...
It made my penis into the big penis.
Yes, it did. All right, so we are at 48 minutes. Do we have anything to talk about basketball while we're here?
Yes, lightly. We'll keep it Heat related for me. Me.
Yeah, because
I
still haven't watched the game.
I've been giving you stats though. I have been doing. If I wasn't lazy, I would probably do a Heat historian. But I am not going to go look at old tape. I don't have those. I don't have.
There's already a guy that does it, but
he probably sucks.
I already had my criticism about it. So
yeah.
I
mean, don't follow him on the Twitter. Follow us on the Twitter.
Well, you can, but he's not great on Twitter. He's great on Instagram though.
Well, and I'm not an Instagram guy. You see, we're going to help each other. Triple J, Jaime Yaquez Jr. Really just making me happy, man. Jaime, baby, because what was my whole thing? I abandoned a nightmare to live a dream, and that dream was to have Tyler Hero still on my team and keep the assets that we had, because financial flexibility was going to be extremely tough for us if we did get the Damian Lillard trade. Let's be real. It was great because it's a guy that made casual fans want him on the team, and people who are diehards, I'd be like, man, if he was on my team, that'd be awesome. And that was my feeling onto it. But it's not as if Tyler Hero was bad. We went down the list when I had the Book of Hero kind of moment, and that's what we're gonna call it on my fandom, the Book of Hero, where I just say, hey, and now he's hurt, fine. It's the beginning of the season. He could be hurt. I don't care. Coach.
As long as he doesn't get hurt in the playoffs again.
Yeah, well, that was such a freak thing too, and I need people to. But still, he hurt himself diving for a ball. He is not injured. He is not. If I can throw some shots on players who are like injury prone, he is not going to be like LaMelo Ball. If they even ever made the playoffs. I'm just using him as an example because it came in because he ankle, or I'm sorry, am I thinking LaMelo? It's one of the balls. They're always hurt.
Well, LaMelo's hurt as well. I mean,
yeah, both balls were hurt.
Yeah,
coming into it, it's not Devin, it's not Bradley Beal, who the Suns are going for. Kevin Durant's often injured. He just plays it. We love Kevin Durant. Kyrie, thank you. So it kind of comes in like, guys, let's really contemplate this. It's just time because you're looking at core. So Triple J enjoying it. I don't need this man to be 15 points a game when you have 3 great starters with Jimmy, Bam, and when Tyler comes back to be your point getters on your starting unit. But if you can get a second unit who has a kind of like mid triple doubles, meaning everything's like a 4 or 5 and a 6 on point, rebounds, or assists, I'm a happy guy.
Please take a look at this real quick.
Yeah, you should take a peek
because I haven't looked at any. I mean, I can have a cursory look at the stats and be like, okay, this is where we're standing.
But for a rookie being played by Spo, when we have not played Nikola Jovic, the other Joker, the Jovic, the Jover, we're gonna call him no. But then the Hispanic accent wants to come out and go Joven. I can't do that. Yeah, we're gonna call him Joven right now, Nikola Joven. But Spo doesn't play rookies like that, man. So I think it is something interest for me.
So let's go down the list here. Let's do Heat talk, right?
Yeah, let's do Heat
Because
talk. I don't need the other basketball stuff. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
We don't care about the in-season tournament.
No, nobody cares about it, and they're trying to make people care about it, but whatever. Like the Pacers just put out, we won Group A. I'm like, that
What?
seems like a team that exactly what we predicted is that the teams that are normally pretty crappy are gonna be out like we won Group A, everybody. We're moving on to the next round. Is really
The Tampa Bay Rays are like, oh yeah, AFC wild card.
so that's what's happening here. But let's see. Let's go with the per game stats right now because I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I have the overall stats from the games.
I know, but I'm on Basketball Reference right now. I have it on the screen, so we can kind of see everything right here. So points per game at this point. Tyler's only played 8 games.
Yeah.
So, but he leads at 22.9. Bam at 22.8. Jimmy, my husband, at 21.4. Duncan at 15.1.
Yep. He's gonna get his due. I'll let you do Triple J
And
first.
then, and now we got a rookie here. We got Jaime at 14 games played thus far. 9.6 points per game at this point. He's a rookie, right? He's starting out here, but at a 509 field goal percentage. He's got a 357 3-point percentage right now. And he's in there, man. He's in. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to see his defensive stats here. He's got about 1.1 steals per game and 2.3 assists.
In a short amount of time playing.
And 3.4
half of the games.
3.4 total rebounds, 2.2 defensive rebounds, and his 800 3-point percentage right now. So this is just the start. He's 22 years old as well. And then we got the rest of the guys, right? Kevin Love, Josh Richardson.
Haywood Highsmith.
Haywood Highsmith, and then Kyle Lowry's buried here at number 9 in points per game at 7.
Because but he's not taking a lot of shots, so this is fine actually.
Be a point guard, a facilitator. Just do that, right? You don't have to take the shot.
I'll take it because there's rumors they're trying to get
the oldest
Tyus
guy on the
Howard.
team. I didn't realize he was older than
Tyus Jones.
I didn't realize he was older than Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Kevin
Love, I think, is our age.
Yeah, he is our age. No, he's younger than me. So
he's my age, which infuriates me that Kevin Love has been seasoned and he's a happy man. And there's me, I'm like, I don't know what my purpose in life is, guy.
Yeah.
I'm just having a hard time. Just like, I literally paid some like 20-year-olds at Geek Squad to just put on tempered glass on my iPhone when I could have done it myself if I wanted a way to date, but I was just that lazy. Okay.
All right. And then everybody else here at the end. And then,
and they have Joven over in the G League still. He might be useful come playoffs. Let him get some seasoning. We'll need shooters.
Yeah, and the Heat have a fantastic development program now. So there we go.
Amazing.
All right.
So and Giannis is there, baby. Just remember that. So there's to him. So yay. Duncan Robinson, I don't know what happened. I think we had mentioned it when we were in the finals. I'm like, you know what? He had to be relied on. He got his number called. He's still getting his contract. We couldn't trade him because for some reason nobody wants him. But like, you know what? Go find me somebody who is getting 15 a game and averaging like 4 and 5 on rebounds and assists coming into it. And is he a defensive liability? Sure. But it's basketball. Everybody kind of is a defensive liability against the studs. So where's the concern? He plays essentially shooting guard and small forward, depending on the matchup. It's okay. If they had him play power forward, I'd be kind of terrified a little bit. Unless I don't know how Spo's doing his full reference, but I'll take it because we need people who are going to connect and go from there. Bam is doing better on the assists because I've accepted the fact, Bam won me back last year, as you guys heard and remember and recall. And the issue was that, he's never going to be the guy who's going to shoot the 3, right? And all that stuff. But the whole thing, if you're big, learn how to pass in the post. And he's had some good assist numbers that were coming in. So I'm satisfied. This is essentially going to be his franchise after Jimmy's fully done in about 3 years. I think I give it 3 years for Jimmy.
So, and while we're here, let's do an all-around thing. I'm on Basketball Reference. I'm kind of interested right now to see where we're at with all this stuff. So I'll go down the list here. We got, points per game at this point, the top 3 leaders. You got Joel Embiid at 1. KD at 2, 31.4 points. Luka is at 3.
Yep.
And Steph has also he's averaging 30 at this point.
I love Barry McCockner's hate on Steph. It's great.
Yeah, well,
It cracks me up.
Giannis is also at 30 points per game at this point too. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over in OKC.
Work, man.
Yes, and he's having a very good season. 29.6. Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland, 29.2. Jason Tatum at 28.
Cleveland's on, just saying, baby.
Yeah, Jokic at 27.4, and at number 10 we got Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah,
27 points per game.
How does it feel, James Harden, to be like, oh, I need all this stuff on the system, and all of a sudden, like the guy that you were the primary facilitator, and like they're like, nah, we'll go with Tyus, and he's just doing the work, man.
Yeah,
good on him, man.
Let's see, and rebounds per game, we got Jokic at 13.1, Sabonis 12.7, and AD at 12, and Rudy Gobert at 11.8. And then Mitchell Robinson, New York, 11.6. There we go. So that's the top.
Does Mitchell Robinson even count? Does anybody from the Knicks count?
Well, you get those rebounds, Charles. He leads in offensive rebounds as well. So
an inspiring team. I mean, look, he is the perfect player for
the Knicks.
And perfect player for give me the name. It's blanking on me because I haven't seen his face in a minute. Mr. Angry Face that always turns the ground. Thibodeau, Tom, for Thibodeau, because he had Joakim Noah, and that's essentially he was able to get me to think that Joakim Noah could be and should have been an MVP consideration when he was only getting like 9 points a game offensively, but the rebounds were at like 12, and then the blocks and defensive plays. So if you're a big, tall center who can rebound, you're his wet dream.
Yep. Let's see, and then we've got. Trying to figure out here. Okay. The Mitch Robinson leads in offensive rebounds. Jokic in defensive rebounds. Tyrese Halliburton leads in assists per game. Trae Young is at 2.
He's
at
got
10.8.
though, the shooting percentage.
That's why he's throwing it to everybody else, right? And Fred VanVleet is at 9.2 out in Houston.
I hate the fact that the Rockets were able to realize that their youth movement sucked. They just signed like mid-tier players and like, oh, we're competent now.
Yeah, get some actual veterans and to actually fix that, which is what other teams. Yeah, it doesn't work in the NBA to have a team full of just rookies. Like,
tell that to Detroit.
You need some guys, right? You need a few guys that can be like, hey, this is how we do it. And yeah, I mean, like,
Detroit's on pace to be having the worst record compared to the Charlotte Bobcats. I think they're still like 2-12.
Detroit's in that cycle. Orlando's always in that cycle too, right? Charlotte's in that cycle as well.
And they can't get good coaching there.
Yeah, so none of that works. None of it actually works. Let me keep going here.
Yeah, that's why you don't see Pat Riley hates rookies. That's his whole thing. Is like the draft.
That's why Jaime's like, what? Hold on now, what?
Yeah, about his position on like rookies, because Magic wasn't a trade. Magic wasn't a free agent, right? You started somewhere
Magic
with
Johnson. No, that he was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. When Pat was coming in.
Yeah. So
that's the whole thing. But Pat was not in, where he took over with the Heat. He was never in a position to get that top 3 pick aside from Wade. That lottery picks, man.
That was the one time.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just going to build on that. Vets do matter. You don't overpay and bring in guys who just, were suffering on the bench, but you do put in somebody. Fred VanVleet's a good guy. He's a good player,
Yeah, it's not bad. Let's see. Let's keep going here. We've got steals. Got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander again.
For a point guard, dude.
2.5 per game. Paul George is always up here as well. 2.2. Jalen Suggs out in Orlando. And then 2.1 Herbert Jones, New Orleans. Blocks got AD leads per game, 3.1. Brooke Lopez at 2. And Wembanyama at 3. I mean, he should, how tall he is. He should be able to block.
Statue of Liberty height.
Yeah. So, and then field goal percentage, Mark Williams out in Charlotte. And Jacob
Holtel?
Yeah,
from
Holtel. From
Is he in Toronto? Yeah.
Yes. And then Moritz Wagner.
Well, those are all forwards and centers. Their games are just layups, dude. So, that's the problem with analytics. Like, when you really look at it, like, do you have a jump shot?
But free throw percentage, James Harden.
Yeah.
He leads.
Ha ha ha.
Naz
What else
Reid
is new?
in Minnesota. Devin Booker. And got Paul George. Okongwu in Atlanta. There you go.
Mhm.
And a 3-point field goal percentage. Cameron Payne in Milwaukee.
Oh, he's over there. But I think he's just a reserve. Oh, he's not a reserve, but he's a second unit. So it's
Jay
like,
Crowder as well.
He's hurt. Yeah.
KD. And then Dylan Brooks at 500
What?
right now, along with
That's right.
along with Alex Caruso, Gary Harris, and Isaiah Joe and Doug McDermott.
Sounds to me like a lot of scrubs except for KD.
Yeah. And then let's see. And then the rest of the stuff. I don't know, whatever. But what bunch of stats there. But that actually crossed us over to an 1 hour, Charles. So that got us over the hump there. So it's a word from our non-sponsors, people, and places and things and concepts that we've been enjoying over the last week. So there's a fight happening right now, Charles, as yeah, this game between the Bruins and the Panthers. Someone's gonna die. I'm telling you, someone's gonna die. So yeah, figuratively speaking, right? And not literally, but yes,
That's what you think.
these teams are out for blood, and ooh, man, they just threw them against that's the board. This is great, Charles. This is what hockey's about. This is what you're about to learn.
I'm ready for it.
So, well, man, I was in Texas recently, but I mean, I didn't really get much of a chance to enjoy anything about it in Dallas. I got there late. I flew Spirit. The flight got delayed by like an hour, and then like flew in. I got there like I was supposed to be there at 7:30. I planned it all out, hoping I'd be there by 7:30 so I could have a nice dinner in Dallas and downtown and just kind of chill. But no, it was like 9:30. I had to order food, Charles. But I'm going to plug this because it's been solid for me, actually like 3 times now. Late at night on DoorDash.
Okay.
I don't think it's an actual restaurant. I think
Is it one of those from the kitchen thing?
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things, but they're not fooling me like Buffalo Wild Wings did. But it's something called the Meltdown. Okay?
I just like the name of it.
Yes, it's grilled cheese sandwiches, Charles. That's the entire specialty.
Oh yeah.
Let me go on because we talked about it, and this is where I got the idea. We talked about you mentioned something about grilled cheese on the group chat.
Yeah, because I was kind of sick last week, so I had to have soup.
Yeah,
And then I just went with grilled cheese.
You wanted
Grilled cheese
dip
is
it in the
always the
soup.
best
That's always
option.
pretty good. Exactly. So let me go on DoorDash itself actually, because I think it's like a DoorDash thing that they have stationed in, like, I would assume major American cities, and it's like their thing, or maybe it's like a chain that only works with DoorDash exclusively. Because I can't. It might have. You know what the funny thing was, Charles? They came in Denny's boxes, so it might actually be Denny's. But unlike Buffalo Wild Wings, I was not fooled. They didn't get my order wrong. They didn't not give me the soda that I wanted, and it was good as hell.
What was on the grilled cheese? Sometimes there's sexy variations of cheese. Sometimes there's bacon.
I got 2 sandwiches. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You always kind of like ham fist it. You shotgun it basically.
Well, it's because you can get the sides and stuff, but I'm like, I don't want fries. Like I'm gonna have empty whatever, not empty calories, but you know what I mean. If I'm gonna do that, I'd rather double fist it and just have 2 sandwiches instead of just the fries. Because if you take a look at some stuff, like the calories and stuff like that,
fries are bad, man. I like fries, but you never eat the whole thing, guys.
Fries are good, exactly. But if you look at the freaking nutrition facts of these places, especially if you get fast food, I mean, the fries are usually more calories than the actual sandwich itself.
Yeah, you've heard me give the whole diatribe. For the healthiest thing is Taco Bell.
It's true.
And people hate that. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Because it's bad meat. I'm like, everything.
Well,
is bad
I
meat,
have it
baby.
on the screen right now, Charles. So this is the
Oh,
Meltdown.
wait. I'm looking at that middle one. Is that some form of beef variation in there?
So,
Is that a roast beef melt?
so, Charles, this is what they had over there too. It's the same menu, same thing, and I'm like, oh, it's the same thing we have in Miami. Okay, so then I figured out, okay, this is an actual thing that maybe just be DoorDash, might be Denny's, I don't know, but whatever it is, it's good because they have not failed me thus far. It's hard to screw up a grilled cheese sandwich. I'll tell you that much. Get some butter, get some cheese, get the pan out, and just do that. Just flip it over, and you should be good to go. And they got a variety of different things. They got fries, of course, and they've got breakfast sandwiches as well. But I went with two, Charles. I went with the Talkin' Turkey Melt.
Okay, always a good choice.
Right,
And yeah,
has-
ladies and gentlemen, you can be sexy with your grilled cheeses. You can add meat in there. We do not condemn you for that.
So provolone cheese, sun-dried tomato, mayo, tomatoes, bacon, turkey, and of course on the grilled bun and cheese and everything like that. And then I just had the simple, straight up cheese sandwich, classic Meltdown. Okay, sharp white cheddar, Wisconsin provolone, and American cheese. Put that between two buns, butter them up, and give them to me. Right? That's what I had, and I ordered enough where because they're sizable sandwiches too.
Yeah, I saw that. They're kind of very grand, is the
Yes.
word we'll say.
They're very sizable sandwiches. I was able to eat half of the grilled cheese, half of the turkey one, and then I'm like, it was nighttime. It was like 10 o'clock by that point, and I was okay. And then woke up in the morning, took them out of the fridge. I'm like, breakfast. There we go.
A perfect breakfast.
Put them in the fridge, put them in the microwave, and it was good to go. So, I forewent getting the hotel breakfast because I'm like, I got this, and
Yeah.
I want this.
What was your hotel?
I was at a AC hotel.
Yeah, I've been to them.
Yeah, I mean it was nice, especially the one in downtown Dallas. But I had woken up and I'm just like, I don't feel like going downstairs right now. Sandwiches here. I'll just have this. But this was good, Charles. It was solid. It was solid there. It was solid here in Miami. That means they're solid pretty much everywhere, and I can recommend this to people. And I can't get screwed over like Buffalo Wild Wings screwed me over before.
I
So-
literally love when you had that. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings the same week just to spite you.
So that's great. Yeah, and then they got drinks and stuff like that over here too. So, promo code ooey gooey.
Ooey gooey. I am exercising my two, of comboing.
All right.
For
Yeah, I got it
Andrew.
last time, so you get it this time.
So, because we're gonna go with the good one before we have to get to the real one, right? So, I'm a child. I suffer from Peter Pan syndrome, as every person likes to tell me, because I just never want to grow up. Mostly in my diet. There's a lot of maturity in me. As an attorney, as a 34-year-old male, as someone who likes to peak on some concept of self-awareness, not being a dick. 9, because that's the thing about the holiday season. It's like, don't be a dick, right? 10, you should not be a dick. 11, but we tend to be dicks. 12, which
Pepper's
also
time of the
happens to
game.
be at the holidays. Going from there, but. So I have satellite offices, and I need snacks in my satellite offices. It's kind of tough, man, to not have them. And I'm sick of going to the gas station and going to Wawa's and paying money for stuff that I don't need. I need sugar in my life because life is short, and you're gonna die. And if you do die, if there's a heaven or hell or a purgatory, you don't bring your stomach with you. So you need to always occupy it with the proper amount of things. So I saw this on the back of my cosmic brownies from Little Debbie's I always tend to get. I was like, oh, not yet, but maybe, one day soon, baby, that kind of thing. But I went to Walmart on my lunch break last week because I had to get cases of water for the house. So I just picked up at the satellite office one. And I'm like, well, I need snacks. My paralegal loves him some peanut M&Ms, which are great, when you really want them. So I just got the family size. That was much cheaper than going to the gas station, for $1 something more, you get that. And then I saw them. So part 1 non-sponsor because, I love cookies and cream ice cream. We love Oreos. We're essentially cookies and cream. Now I have had on my taste buds and in my gullet cookies and creams brownies by the Little Debbie folk, because I think that's who brought over the name.
Okay.
And I am just salivating. And I left it at my satellite office. And I regret leaving it at my satellite office because I will not be there till next Tuesday. But you make sure the date of expiration is good. But you need a little snack every now and then, guys, on a 8-9 hour
this is
work
Little
day.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
And I sent you the pic of it so you saw, what I was dealing with. And I was like Wreck-It Ralph. I'm like, I'm gonna wreck it. And boy, did I. And I brought one even to my dad. And I gave it to him. He's like, whew, whew, because you do taste on the buds. Because, sometimes my concern.
All right. So
As if
this
they
is getting
put
very
it-
dangerous, Charles. I'm on the Little Debbie website.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
They got all
we're
the
here.
Christmas stuff right now.
Oh
The
my
Christmas
God, yeah,
trees.
dude, the Christmas trees are delicious. I can't wait
Yes.
for it. Like, I will buy one thing.
And
but
I like me some oatmeal cream pies. For
Right?
Sure.
Right?
Mhm. So
like everything Little Debbie's does. Them and Tasty Cakes
Yeah.
are always just, they're
Always
always
solid.
commendable. They're always supportive. They never fail you.
let me see this.
So-
we're going down this. This is the rabbit
Yeah,
hole now, Charles.
Yeah, I think you have to go under new products because I think I saw new products there
Let
where
me
you would see it.
Apparel, merch. They got merch.
I'll wear.
I gotta
Cosmic
see the
Brownie
little
shirt.
Debbie merch.
I think I sent you the meme from NXT where Von Wagner brings when he goes to have dinner with the Stone family. He just brings in cosmic brownies. He's like, I brought brownies, and it's like cosmic brownies.
They got the tree cake earrings.
If I had my earrings still, I would.
They got an
wear it.
inflatable you can stick outside your yard. They
Yeah,
got
I'm not paying $100 for it, but
Nutty Bar
Jesus.
T-shirt. They got all the Christmas stuff right now. What is? They have a candle that smells like the oatmeal cream pie.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
They have a candle that smells like the Christmas tree cake.
Yeah, screw your Yankee candle. You know what I would do? I would give that to every friend who's on a diet.
They have a honey bun candle.
Ooh, listen, I haven't had a good honey bun in a minute, but those things when I was like 12 years old, I would just attack it. And this is why I'm a danger to myself, man. It's like I'll look into it. I'm like, diabetes. Diabetes means you have to diet. Like, it has its namesake into it if you pronounce it properly. I'm not doing it. So the concept on it, as you continue to search it so you see it,
Journal.
is you would think that it's going to have a powdery kind of stale taste in your mouth, and it's not. It's just pure sweetness. It's pure sugar. It's pure. It's not creamy like the cookies and cream, but it obviously has the affect to it. Think of it. I think the best way to explain to it, imagine, and this is the only way, because one day I'll send it to you. Maybe I should for you and Andrew as my Christmas gift to you guys. Imagine like evaporated
Charles,
Oreo
you can get
cream
socks for work.
I have enough socks. I have enough socks. I have 40
You can get an
pairs
oatmeal
of
cream
socks.
pie sock.
Yeah, or the Nutter Butters.
Go to the gym with that.
I would get the Cosmic Brownies, man. My love for them, because I love a good Cosmic Brownie. That's what coworkers get me for my birthday and for Christmas. They literally give me the family size.
All right, so I'm looking for it now. Where are we at?
Ooh, man.
These
I'm
are.
pausing my computer or my game so I can
I'm
just look into
looking
it.
at with it. Man, they got more stuff than I had realized.
Yeah, they have it all there. You might have to just Google it, man.
Yeah, I'll just search it here on their website. What's it called?
Just the cookies and cream brownie.
Okay, let's go brownie and see what happens. It's new, huh?
Yeah, like new.
Brownie. Let's see, Little Debbie snack box. Okay, I'll just Google it then, because I guess their website is mainly right now. It's all Christmas stuff, so we can't find
Yeah.
it here. That's all they got right now. So I'll just Google it. But let's go. Let's go. So Little Debbie. Let's see. Gosh darn it. Right already. You can keep talking.
So the taste is good. The sweets are good. It tastes like evaporated. It tastes like an evaporated form of the cream from the Oreo cookies, which is good if you like evaporated milk. That goes from there. So it's palatable. The brownie is big. It's strong. I got the family size of it for like $4, $5, whatever. So there's like a pack of 12 calories are gonna kill you. It's 290 calories with like 50 grams of carbs and sugars a pop. But as I tell everybody when I indulge in my manic eating episodes, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, and that's usually it is when it comes to my stomach. But it is good, man. It is a contender of always being in the
I'm on
rotation. If they're
Walmart.
gonna,
This is what it looks like. Huh?
yeah. If they're gonna permanently keep it in the rotation, you don't taste really like the cookie aspect of it, but it's still oh, my mouth's salivating.
Mm.
This is why I hate talking about like food as a non-sponsor. I don't have it here.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
Very dangerous.
I want them to kind of keep around. I have like a whole bunch of Halloween candy, but it's not the same. Everyone's like, you have candy at the house. Why don't you just bring it? I'm like, it's not the same, man.
I'm gonna click on one of these videos here.
Trying the cookies and cream.
Okay, come on, man, stop.
And the thing about the cosmic brownies is they're seminal. They are a all-timer, but I always feel like they're kind of too tiny now. You know what I mean? I eat them like 3 bites. Going from there.
I see. All right, so we got these 2 dudes. They're gonna try it out. Let me see. They got some memes, and okay, they look. Yeah, okay, typical squares. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You see, I kind of wish these guys were kind of like the report of the week. With his fast food reviews, he'll show it to you.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing. Hold on, let me go on this YouTube thing. All right, this dude. All right, so he's got the packet there. He's opening it. Okay. Alrighty. He's explaining. We'll skip.
Seems like he's happy. He actually looks like your business dude that you always said.
Yeah, he kind of looks like him. Yeah. Yeah.
He's the American crew cut.
Yeah. All right, he's got a Goku thing on the right. So and a Mario Christian Mark Rock.
I can't trust him if he would actually enjoy it. The boy is like real thin.
He's a Seahawks fan, but
okay. He gave a thumbs up, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. He said,
look, it's got a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's all that matters. So it looks very enticing.
I would implore you to try it. I would implore you to buy it. I would implore you. You're listen. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. To anybody who is actually listening on the Wednesday episode, Dia do Pavo dos, right? To go bring that, to your families, because everybody's gonna be pumpkin pie. My mother's allergic to pumpkin pie, so we can't really do pumpkin pie, guys. So give the alternative for anybody who can't have those kind of pies. Pecan pie, not my style, right? It's okay, but I'd rather just have the pecans by themselves, right? Just me if you can do that.
Pralines. Good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, pralines is where it's at.
Dangerous. Very dangerous. A lot of calories. They're nuts.
Yeah, been in New Orleans, and I was like, you get them as a gift for people because
they sell them. They sell them at Publix in the things. And
is it the same though?
I know, but
it's really brittle, but it's not bad. Like if you go to the malls, like the good malls, like Sawgrass, PGA, Miami Mall, they'll have like candy shops, like the old school stuff, so you can go from there and get it. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Like go from there.
There we go.
So a promo code for that, promo code Fat Boy. I'm just gonna keep it that. Or Peter Pan. We'll just keep Fat Boy because that's what I am. That's why I work out, guys. It's not because of the fact that I'm vain. It's because of the fact that the stuff that I put into my body is not healthy. Number 2, and we did this last year, and I would be remiss to do it again and not do it again this year. It's a Black Friday, and it's different now.
Concept of Black Friday.
It's the concept of Black Friday, right? It's not where we're doing doorbusters. You can't catch me at 34.
So this is basically. I just want to preface this real quick. I'm just gonna prep everybody. Like this is a non-sponsor, but it's also a actual segment that we're planning on talking about. So it's a mix of both. So we're here. We're here now.
Well, we have to. We'll get to the petty train. Sure. We do have to break it up because you can't go on one thing. But the concept Black Friday, for me, I like it not because you actually get better deals, right? You don't anymore.
I'm just gonna go on Cheap Ass Gamer and we'll just
or I just spawn you. Poor Francisco, you guys don't understand. There's 3 times a day where this man and Andrew and my other group chats get bombarded with everything I get from the Twitter. Lunchtime, like the 40 minutes before I get off work, and then maybe like 8 o'clock at night when I'm past the gym, and a lot of it's just deals. But my whole thing of how I've utilized for several years is that I don't like paying full price for video games. I understand the developers and the people who work on it deserve all the money. I'm not paying $70. That is a meal, that is alcohol, that is travel money. It's all that stuff. So I hustle. I chussle it for it. We'll talk about that later on. For a lot of things, trademark it. But the concept is that, I'll at least get sales when you tend to have the money. Why? Because you always know Black Friday and a birthday and Christmas is always going to be set around the same time, or Hanukkah is going to be set around the same time. So you can save going to things. Do you get these doorbuster deals? What I need people to understand, you're never going to get something that's $150 for $2. I think you're kind of dumb if that's your belief, right? If you're like me, though, who utilizes a lot of gift cards, credits, Visa gift cards, spare cash, mileage checks, stuff like that, I will put it to there for the games and only for the games. I just bought a new phone, first time like 6 years plus, and I wasn't looking for any. I'll be dead in the water before you catch me at Apple Store day after Thanksgiving coming into. I just needed a phone. But I was in Express a couple weeks ago. I bought them that sweater and that long sleeve polo, looking good, man, right? Because it was a buy one get one free. I'm like, fine. It incentivizes me to appropriate my closet, to clean out some stuff, to bring it in, right? Last year I got a couple suits. That's where we gave Express their love, right? That was my non-sponsor last week. And also builds my gaming library for next year. And Papa's getting new headsets. This is the last time you're going to hear on this end unless something happens. It's going to come in Friday, and it was the 30% deal. So I can't non-sponsor the Steel Series yet because I haven't had it, but I feel like I got the ultimate win from Black Friday because it's not always about the Black Friday deals, but it's about the sales that come in collision of it. They were doing 30% off on $180. It's a substantial amount of money that you're saving. You're saving 30% 180. That's 125. And then now their Black Friday sale for it is 135 plus with tax, obviously, and shipping. So guess what that means? I still save more. It's the competitive nature of it. And mind you, there wasn't a lot of games to buy. I haven't bought movies in a while, but it's because unless it's something I really need to own and I want the 4K visual, it will be on a streaming, and that's okay. Pissed at Nintendo, and you know why, because damn it, just put Metroid on there. But it allows me to kind of, I like the concept of Black Friday because it allows me to build my gaming library for the next several months. Because really what happens is that they're set at the prices where they're going to be 5 months from now if they're like PlayStation games. The Nintendo games being at 30, you just have to jump on it. I picked up Kirby Return to Dreamland. I took a nap, so Best Buy, I missed their thing because I've been running on 3 hours of sleep, plus I did the gym at 5 in the morning, so I was tired. I had to do the show. I had to take a nap. But if I was able to switch it, I'm thinking about Fire Emblem, right? But they took it off, but GameStop has it. I'm thinking about exercising, using my gift card for the greater good because I could just trade stuff in, right? So I like the concept because it helped me build a gaming library at a cheaper expense, because I want you guys to really contemplate, if I had to pay full price for a gift card on those games, that really wipes out the gift card. Most gift cards are 25, 50, or 100, right? Sometimes. So, today's purchase was, $127. If I had to get a new, because the thing is Apple changed their stuff, so I had to use a USB charger. So I was like, okay, whatever residuals I had to pay, like the $24 was really because of that. And then maybe tax, right? But to basically get 3 games that are within recency, because Kirby had just came out. Return of Dreamland came out, 4 months ago? At most?
Yeah. I mean,
and then Final Fantasy 16 came out, and then I picked up Jedi Survivor, which came out in February. And it only cost me $99, and using my gift cards wiped out. I messed up. So I thought I had more money, and I forgot that I used one of my electronic gift cards on Hogwarts Legacy and for my eShop card. So I dropped the ball. So that's why I had to pay just a little bit. And even Black Friday was good for what? NHL that we're going to play. So that's why I like it, because it helps me with my clothing selections, because you should buy new clothes, right, every couple of years. And that was the thing I was telling you about it. As attorneys, we're just stuck buying new clothes for the profession, but maybe you want to wear stuff that is different, of the same genre if you can, right? And then it builds my game life. So that's why I like it. It's not something I utilize for purchasing gifts for other people. I really just give you money. I'll buy you a card, I'll give you money, or I'll buy lunch for you or dinner at a different set period of time. And maybe get you guys some liquor or sweets, but nothing from there. But I like Black Friday for that expense, because it really helps me be a gamer, to continue being gaming. Because I think if you don't utilize like that, because I don't have a PC, so this is my final thought on it and why I appreciate it. If I don't utilize it for that, I'm working on chance that the game might one day go on sale and I might lose interest on it. It might make me just not want to game as much, because if I have to pay full price for a lot of stuff, whether it's coming on Charlesing and doing the tussle, or just, paying out of cash, I'm not going to be incentivized, because I'm going to have to be fiscally responsible to me. So that's why I like it. So promo code, Chussle.
There we go.
Chussle.
Trademark.
Yeah, trademark.
Yeah, I'm just going down the list here of
Return Dreamland came out February. So to be able to get a Switch game that they're full marketing out only in like 8 months advance, half off is the win for me.
And yeah, then they got all this other stuff here for Black Friday deals, and this is just within the last 8 hours, Charles. And they're just this is their time of year.
Yeah, I have not even looked at Walmart because I don't have Walmart gift cards, so I just dissuade from it.
RE4 for PS5 and Xbox.
It's a good deal for $30.
$30.
I think that's worth it. You guys should play that game. That was a non-sponsor. That's going to be in my top 3, 4, 5,
6 for $30 right now.
I'm looking at it, but the thing is that I'm not going to play anybody online because I'm going to get my ass 14 handed to me.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in getting it on PC. So
yeah, I think it would be too buggy.
Yeah. Then they got a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, Nintendo Switch Sport's not worth it, dude. So I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm not. It was a flash in the pan, and I accept that. It was the greatest flash in the pan that we ever did.
Nintendo just did not. They promised too much and they didn't deliver. So
are you proud I didn't buy an Xbox?
Well, you haven't. No, I'm looking for you. I'm looking out for you in the long run. You have the PS5.
You're not wrong.
And I do want you to put GameStop out of business.
Yeah.
So I want that to happen. So that's like the thing I'm expecting in 2024 around this time of year.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I want them to be jealous of me. I'm on the fence about Sonic Superstars because I've seen some for 40 or 35, but I feel like I just get that for free as the one Christmas gift. Yeah,
like, that's fine. I mean, as far as Sonic is concerned, you've got I
didn't sponsor, but everybody play Frontiers. It's a 7.5. I think I went with a 7. It's a 7.5. The 0.5 is for the joy I enjoyed from it around this island. I should have I think maybe it was worthy of being a non-sponsor. Taking a 3. Sonic Frontiers. Play it. Promo code. Side loop. There you go. I had to. It was fair.
There we go.
UFC's 40. Interesting because my nephew got it, and I'm I want to hand him his ass. 16.
Okay. There we go.
I don't know if I want to pay 40 for it, but that's the cheapest. So I'm not paying 50. Here's the thing about the PlayStation games. They're now at 70.
Yep.
So when they drop down to $20 at 50, it's really just the same price of what I was paying a generation before. That's not a benefit. That's why I didn't pick up Assassin's Creed Mirage, because it was 50 and then the sale is 40. I'm like, no, I need at least $25 to be safe. I ate Final Fantasy because I'm like, okay, if it was 70 and it's 40 and it's on a gift card, then that's fine. Saving $30, I'll take it. It's going to be the price a year from now for it. So let me just get it now.
So I've utilized so far one deal, Charles.
Yeah. Oh.
And this is actually the thing I had been anticipating as well, because I have the PC, and Epic Games does their coupon at the end of the year every year. And this year they did it. It just started, so it happened, and we were sitting there. I was waiting to pull the trigger with you, but you're still waiting. But the coupon came out, and a brand new game is now $33. I'm like, that came out a month ago, and I'm like, oh, must jump on it now. So Alan Wake 2 is now in the backlog. It's in the library, and we're waiting on it. It's added to the true backlog right now, and I'm just waiting to play through the other game, and then we're, the moment that you say
we're probably
to strike,
gonna do it at the same time.
Yeah, the moment you say that it's time, then I'll know. It's time to delve into the darkness.
And that's where a sneak preview of what you guys are going to see as we go 2.0 is there's going to be some quality gaming. Maybe it depends. We're professionals, but it's going to be like, side by side, not co-oping. It's co-oping in spirit.
It's like a book club.
Yeah, well, I think the Yakuza. I like the Yakuza gig that we're gonna do. Kiwami is definitely happening in 2024, and I think you can get me on Kiwami too, and I think you can get me maybe on Infinite Wealth and the man who can't escape his name.
Yeah,
when they're on the good price. I like that. We did it in January, kind of crossing over into it, and I like that concept. And then Alan Wake I like Remedy, you like Remedy, and then the Pokemon thing could be
I can
real.
get Alan Wake in Fortnite because I bought it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Fortnite I heard is better for everybody now, so it's there, and we could do the Pokemon
How
thing
do you do
too
fellow
because
kids?
I will be starting Scarlet tomorrow because because this is gonna transition to Thanksgiving. My thoughts on it for anybody who has to be stuck with being with people that you normally don't go past 2 hours and 30 minutes with, the Switch is for you, or maybe the Steam Deck, but the Switch is for you because it's easy to mobilize. You can play it from there. Pokemon is
You
something
you sent me that thing for like a different machine from like Asus. Is it from Asus? Something like
Yeah.
that? Asus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has like
Yeah,
a,
but
a $600 machine.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, no. And my whole thing is like, the next big purchase, 'cause obviously the iPhone was needed, and because I wanted a better camera. I want to take pictures of my animals. I want to take a picture of my niece and stuff like that, my nephew, and do all that stuff. And also, I wanted a better battery life. So when I upgrade in technology, I don't like to upgrade a generation behind them. Just keep to it now and keep consistent until I fade away. I am contemplating next year an OLED Steam Deck as long as I could dock it to Ramona to have my own playable PC because I just can't build a PC tower considering the fact that I have small living space.
Yeah, and I mean I
will
get
be an
it,
absolute monster.
but I've always felt like those PC portables right now because I guess that's what they are now, right?
Yeah, that's actually what it is.
It's not gaming laptop. It's not that. It's an actual portable thing that's kind of like the Switch. But I always felt like that was always for people that like had the massive Steam library and they're just tired of lugging around. Yeah, I mean, you see them. They always carry around the entire tower with them.
I could be that guy.
Or they would buy a gaming laptop, but that was really just kind of unwieldy too because they're big and thick and you only really use them for one thing, and at that point. So I think for some people, it just, from convenience sake, they wanted that machine. So, and they have like a Steam library that they, going on like 15, 20 years of stuff that they can, that they just have a big library of it. But even then, even for me, I don't feel like I want to take my PC games with me. I mean, I tried it out this in the trip in Texas where Half-Life is free if you have a PC and you want to play that. And I'm like, okay, I kind of played my stuff out with Mario and I was like, I don't feel like finishing it off now. I 100%ed it, Charles. It's over.
I'm surprised you didn't. Well, you non-sponsored it last week, so that's fair.
I did, but I finally 100%ed it, and it was a doozy at the end to try and get it.
You know what trips me up? Side note on Sonic, it is actually still selling for $30 when I got it for Black Friday on $30 last year. So that's the reason why now you just can't expect the low end deals. You just have to expect where it's going to be so you can play it early. I will play the DLC like you talked about when I'm in the lull. Quick 8 hours, knock it out.
But even then, like with okay, so going back to the PC on the go, like the stuff that's on PC that you would want a PC's power for are for games that you don't really take on the go in a way. So like that's the thing with like Nintendo games, as far as the way they design their games is mainly so you can just, hey, you can put it in 30 minutes, you can put it in an hour, and then you can put it away while you're out and about, right? Or you're on a plane, things like that. Even Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was kind of built that way, where, hey, you go over there and to the left is this cave, and you'll spend like an hour in that cave, and then you'll pop out of the cave, and that's it, right? So that was the thing with that. Like with PC games, like I can't imagine playing Alan Wake on the go.
So it's like the equivalent of having two mouths. You only need one to eat something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what did in the PlayStation Vita. And I've never seen that in the wild. I
never knew anybody who had a Vita.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who owned the PlayStation Vita. It looked pretty cool. I used to have a PSP.
Yeah, I remember people
for
had
a short time.
PSPs. I just remember like borrowing my friends so I could play the Dragon Ball game on there.
Yeah,
because your boy loves his DBZ.
But the Vita, I never saw it because they were advertising. I think it's the PS3 on the go, and like nobody owned it. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that experience on the go. And like 3DS was not as great as the DS to a lot of people, but they didn't sell as much.
I agree.
But even then, Nintendo still was able to sell like 60 million of those things.
Can you
So-
imagine when Nintendo? Because my theory on the Switch 2 is that they're gonna have a hotspot or their own portable Wi-Fi, but you just buy their subscription plan. You're like, oh shit.
I mean, I can't
They're
see
gonna
Nintendo doing that.
no. There's always a possibility. Look, the minute they start branching out to making movies and TV shows, they're gonna become more of a multimedia aspect.
Okay.
Because what's better than having money? More money. And if you have pants, you have 4 pockets.
Yeah, and they're now more open to do the stuff that the other companies are doing now,
Mhm.
instead of doing like we're doing our own weird thing on the side here, because they don't really have a head that was like Iwata, when he's dead, but he was kind of like that guy that was a gamer and a businessman, and now they just got businessmen, so they're like, okay.
And Phil or Reggie was, he was great for the innovation.
He was a gamer too, and he was that type of like guy that could like understood the culture, I guess. But now we've got, I don't know, they got this guy named Bowser. I don't know nothing about this guy. He just seems like a guy.
His name is Bowser.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but regardless. But anyways, the PC stuff, I'm like, okay, I can't see the portable stuff. Maybe in the future, but I mean, my laptop is fine. I think I think you found me one that was that, like, this laptop that I have here, the one that you found. You found it on Best Buy. Had like a little gaming aspect to it because I was like a Ryzen chip or whatever inside of it. And when I first booted it up, that's what it came out to. It was like a dashboard for gaming. I'm like, okay,
hell yeah. For
cloud gaming too, mainly, because that's like the thing now. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So it does good in a pinch. It does good in a pinch. Ran, Half-Life. Half-Life's like a 25-year-old game, so it should run well. But like, I've ran some pretty good stuff on there. I'm like, okay, it's solid for what I need on the go. If I just feel like doing my stuff on the road and I don't want to do anything on my Switch or anything like that. So yeah. We're at 1:37. All right, so turkey time, Charles.
Yeah,
we are here.
Let's do it.
So, I'm going tomorrow to my folks, and my sister. My sister called me and was like, yeah, we're doing the pigs in a blanket, or we're doing the all day eating thing where, we
I haven't had pigs in a blanket in so long.
But it's basically like, we're not all waiting for the big thing at the end. Like she'll make, the plan is, okay, we'll have little bits of things, and it's a run up to the grand finale, right? So that's how we do Thanksgiving. So we're not all waiting there. It's like, don't eat too much, because then you won't have enough for the turkey at the end. It's like, nah.
You marathon it.
Yeah, exactly. You pace yourself throughout the day. Eat a little bit here, burp and whatever. Do what you got to do to relieve yourself in the meantime, and then you'll be ready for the grand finale. It might even be better for yourself because you're gonna have leftovers anyways. So I don't go ham on the turkey. I go ham on the ham, Charles. I just get a turkey leg. That's my thing. And get my mashed potatoes. That's my thing as well. And that's really all I need, to be honest. But Charles, I have a question for you.
Tell me, D-May.
What are your thoughts on cornbread?
I love cornbread.
Oh.
Absolutely love cornbread. Live by the cornbread, die by the cornbread.
Like,
I can have it dry, I can have it with the butter. I love cornbread.
Yes, like
and that's the Polk County boy. You're about to get the y'all, like the accent from living there. And yes, I do have a little bit of a southern accent around Southern people because I lived there for 5 years, so it does pop out.
But that's like a thing that I've also noticed here in the like at the Sedanos. They sell the cornbread here too, and that's not bad either.
I love cornbread.
So it's a staple that I feel like that my family, or like our Thanksgiving, I've kind of been noticing. I'm like, we should have cornbread here. Why do we not? We have some biscuits and some stuff like that, but feel like...
Can I tell you why you never see a lot of it in the Spanish households? Have you ever capcheta before? It's Venezuelan, so I would think you have.
I would... Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. So what is your predict your
My thought process is because I don't know how to spell it, and I gachapas. Sorry.
There we go.
Gachapas. I think that's where people view it as being like a cornbread tradition. You know, it's like they call like fry, depending how it makes it. Like if you go to Boca's down in Pembroke or stuff like that, some people might say this is basically their equivalent of cornbread. Like, not really, guys.
I mean, it's basically, it's like a corn pancake that you kind of folded on itself.
Yeah, well, it's cornmeal, you know, coming into it.
I
so
know,
it's like,
but or a differently shaped arepa.
yeah, well, that's
Essentially.
that's how I view it, as like, you know, maybe white people don't like cornbread because I've never seen it in like Hispanic
It's
households.
like they wanted to make a quesadilla with the arepa stuff, and they're like, well, this is how we're gonna do it.
and it's
Which
good
is
for
not
what it
bad.
is.
You know, whatever. I love the material that we make arepas out of. I would love that in different shapes. Yes,
But love cornbread.
but that over as a replacement for cornbread? Nah, those are two
No,
very
never.
distinct things.
Well, I'm not saying it's a takeover. I've never seen it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the reason why they
Oh,
want to
okay.
do it.
Yeah, well, I've never seen a cachapa at Thanksgiving. I'm
mean,
talking about traditional Thanksgiving because my
I was
family.
demanding lechon. I was thinking about driving to North Palm,
Yeah.
finding a local thing for lechon because I'm like,
Yeah.
you're already giving me ham. I don't like turkey. I'm like, let me get the little pig suckling, please. The meat is just so sweet and marinated.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I love lechon. My
Um,
dad doesn't. Can we? My father doesn't like lechon.
oh,
Doesn't. You are Colombian. You lived in Colombia for 9 years. You moved to Jackson Heights, Queens. He's the American guy. He's like, I like hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't like this. I'm like looking at him. I'm about to drop my old phone. I was like, I'm about to square down. I'm about to hit my father. I was about to hit my father.
for the ancestors.
Where the answer? Like, do you like lechon?
Oh man, yeah, of course, man. Jeez,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Cuban Miles Morales over here.
Yeah, exactly. Lechon, man, is everything. Like, I can understand if you told me you like chicharrones. I'm like, well, you shouldn't eat the whole thing, as we talked about. But yeah, so
I've
cornbread.
I've taken the picture at the Presidente, and I've shown you the big leg of the you know, of lechon there, and I've thought about purchasing it just to have it in my refrigerator, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't. Not. I'll just get the chicken and I'll just leave it at that.
Lechon, for people who are actually listening to it, and we thank you for listening on a random Wednesday for our 2 subscribers. But it's marinated pork. I always called it like pork asada. You know what I mean? It's not correct to say it, but it's kind of correct. But it usually is like the roasted pig suckling, but it's more tender meat. And there's places I've gone to where obviously it's not pig suckling, it's just, or baby pig, it's just whatever, it's a pig. And I don't question it, it just tastes good. You know, it's the Taco Bell of pig.
But it's just some things that I was just thinking about that are Thanksgiving staples. Because for the most part,
I love cornbread, yes.
my family has adopted all of the American Thanksgiving-isms.
Oh, it's the American household. Granted, here I am getting ready for rice and noodles, right?
Yeah, I mean, and but even then, like, I'm just thinking of our last year. I'm like, we didn't really have anything that was out of left field that was, okay, this is, like, we're not bringing, I don't know, the mondongo, the milanesa, or whatever. It's just something different out of this. So that was the thing, and then we're not.
You're not getting the fish head,
Exactly.
which is the ultimate Hispanic thing.
Yeah. So, gosh, man, I haven't had one of those in a while either.
I know,
I'm
because
thinking about it, man.
I've done it, and I don't like myself for doing it. You know,
Really?
because you're supposed-
Do you feel
yeah.
bad about the fish? With the fish?
No,
head?
it's looking at me.
You're
supposed to just
you
peel
get
the
self-conscious over it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Really?
I'm peeling the skin. I don't like fish like that all
I
the
don't
time.
know.
for
I
this.
think of
don't
it
like
as
that.
in the Native American sense, where this fish has given itself to me, and I will respect this creature.
yeah, you're also bigger on the seafood than I am. But like, I have had fish, but I think
Because
I'm so
limited.
used to it being black and stuff like that. And what people don't understand is when we're talking about the fish head, it's just deep fried, just deep fried in lemon, plain and simple.
Yeah.
But that's all you need, you know.
All right, Charles. So,
Say
what
cornbread.
okay, so that was my thoughts on cornbread. Any of your thoughts on Thanksgiving in general? Now that we're here,
I'll
again?
give you the Charles's the Trujillo. Look, I'm saying it the way I shouldn't be saying it. The Trujillo, that's how I say it. The Trujillo Thanksgiving tips, the Charles the True style. I always bring merriments. I have brought Jefferson Reserve bourbon for family members because Walter, my brother-in-law, is having his cousin come up. So I'm like, I like them. I'll go from there, and I'll bring sweets. You know, everybody's gonna bring sweets, but I'll bring sweets that I think we'll all enjoy. But they usually bring sweets too because they live in Broward, so they'll bring like empanadas and the guava pastries and stuff like that. I'm like, I kiss you on the mouth right now.
Yeah,
I love you
there we
guys. We
go.
go from there. And then for the kids, when they bring their children, I'll try to bring in something, or I'll do the activity. So there's one, bring my Switch, and I'll try to have to get them to kind of play around if they're not bored or anything like that. We love the mashed potatoes. We know about the day where the earth shook when I didn't have mashed potatoes, and I was
What
about
year
to fight
was
my
that?
family. Like
What
3 years
year?
ago, 4 years ago.
Was
I
that
think it
during
was
the
like
pandemic? Was that pandemic?
No, it was before the pandemic.
Okay, all
It
right.
was before the pandemic. I think it was like year 4. When we were coming, because I came on board
Yeah,
December.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So I had missed it, I think. Like I was
Yeah,
there
yeah.
in spirit, guys. I'm like
Tis
texting the
true.
guys my thoughts,
Tis
but I was
true.
like insecure about like I don't know how to talk. And I'm like, I can talk, it's fine. But always big on that. I don't care for turkey, so I'm bringing the hot sauces. At 34 years old, if you're gonna sit at the kiddie table in the family, you should be allowed to eat comfortably. Because I don't like turkey; it is dry. Even if I get the dark meat, and the only way you should eat it is the dark meat. Anybody who told you the white meat is basically supporting the Ku Klux Klan, okay? Plain and simple. You get the dark meat for the juices, but I'm bringing those variety pack hot sauces. I'm only bringing the 2 I open. I can't open 5 hot sauces because that stuff takes time. I'm bringing the ghost pepper, and I'm bringing the extra hot, the Melindas, and I'm gonna put some seasoning on there. I understand.
That was on my mind actually.
Yep,
Finish your thought.
And so I told people, I'm like, it's okay. My father's supposedly making the turkey. My sister texted me. Rebecca's like, do you want mac and cheese? I'm like, why would you ask this question on Americana to begin with? We were literally just talking about it. But what you already took from me, mashed potatoes, for one thing. Are you not going to put who hates mac and cheese? I can understand hating dry mac and cheese. Like, I do not like Walmart or Publix's mac and cheese. I think it's actually woefully overrated because, one, it's too wet. Because the water, the condensing of how hot it is, because they keep it for hours on end, and the cheese is kind of like dried up glue. But you give me a good set of mac and cheese, I'm in heaven. That's why I love every barbecue joint I can go there. So I need cornbread. I need my yeast rolls. My mother's like, oh, I'm gonna make yeast rolls and go from there. I'm like, absolutely, by all means. People are working like, do you cook? I'm like, I'm too lazy. I have made turkey before. It takes too long for me to care about it. And the thing is, that's when I was like 18 and 20 and not becoming an adult. I basically, whenever I had to do the cooking, I became like Hank Hill, and I would just have like a beer in my hand, or like for me, it's bourbon. I'm like, yep. And then I'll be too loaded for Thanksgiving. I'll take a nap. I don't watch football. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Like watching, because it's all these teams I don't care about that suck, and it's a short week, and then now I have to do Black Friday, Jets and Dolphins.
Yeah. Hold on. That's the other sports thing that's happening this week, that the NFL is doing the Friday game. They technically cannot do the Friday game at any time past 6:00 because it's actually a written law that they can't do that.
What?
It is. Yeah. Someone in Congress passed it.
Who is this?
Like in 1960 something or whatever.
So like Diane Weissman or whatever her name was.
Or 1970 something. I have no idea. That the NFL can't play on Fridays and Saturdays on a certain time, or unless there's no college football games, because they don't want the college football teams to get outworked, outwatched, or whatever by the NFL teams. So there you go. That's why they did that. But yeah, Thursday games are the Lions, of course, who are actually good for once, hosting their usual game. The Cowboys also, they're facing Washington, and the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Only game you watch. Only game right there.
And then the next day is the Jets and the Dolphins, because Amazon wanted that game and they paid for it.
I have to be stuck. And this is, I think we said last week, and we're going to put it again. Next year, whoever's developing the games on national TV, please consider injuries, because someone is going to have, have you been forced to watch Tim Boyle start for the New York Jets? You might be entitled to some kind of financial relief and compensation for damages. That is just so fucking 17.
All right. So going on the hot sauce thing.
Yeah.
I've never thought of the concept of spicing up the Thanksgiving stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very neutral food. That's why. Mashed potatoes, neutral. You can have it with gravy or without gravy. Mac and cheese, neutral. I get you. Collard greens with some, if it's salty, I will mess that ish up. I can't do a lot of collard greens because it's high in that salt, baby. And also, my toilet I'll have to Black Friday shop one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What do you do with the
This sounds
ham?
like-
Ham is really okay by itself. I think you're being egregious if you're doing it with a ham. But turkey, by all means.
Well, yeah. So I'll be going home tomorrow. I'm bringing back my Xbox 360 with some Xbox games that are not compatible with my Xbox One. So those will be going into the storage for future Zoomers to once they hit their midlife crises, I can sell it to them for above price.
See, it's like me, except you're playing the long con.
I do, and the video game collectibles market right now is crashing because we had that
Right.
period where like Mario 64 was being like somebody sold a mint copy for like $1 million and it was nowhere near that worth, right? And then we just found out that the auctioning companies and the whatever grading companies were in cahoots, and everybody just started to realize, oh, this is pretty scammy in some ways, or fishy. And so it's been plummeting ever since, which is good. I once again, I play the long game, and eventually, like in 10 years, we won't have physical games anyways. So we all know this is gonna happen. So that's that. So get physical while you're at it for now. At least for most of your games, not all of them. You don't have to get all of them, but for most of the games, I would say keep going physical, especially like the single player stuff, because eventually those will go up in value just by the virtue of them being physical alone, and some rarity through that. Anyways, yeah, I'm bringing those back, and I'm bringing some like things, some rosquillas. I don't know if you've ever seen those, Charles. It's a traditional Nicaraguan snack food. But yeah, did I lose you, Charles? I think I lost them. Hold on, did I? I did not touch a thing. 1 second. There's no way. Oh, my connection was lost completely. Wow, I'm over here talking to myself. So that was just me, everybody. Well, the stream is still going. I still see the clock running, but I might have lost Charles. So he might have been disconnected, because I'm trying to connect with him. Hold on. Let me see if he sent me a message on the phone. Ah, Sports Goose, everybody. He's coming back. That's it. He dropped out. So I think it might have been it's something on his end. So we shall wait. While we're here, I'll talk about the Panthers and the Bruins right now. The Bruins are up 3-1 against the Panthers. They found a way to get scoring there in the second period with 2 extra goals. The Panthers were able to get one back as well. I think Anton Lundell with a goal there. But the penalties have been very high to start the game. But now I believe both teams are going to be playing with a lot more discipline, because ultimately they're trying to win the game, and trying to kill each other is probably not in their best interest right now, for now at least. But especially for the Panthers, who are trying to get back into this game. They have 2 goals, which they have to find a way to break through here against Linus Ullmark here. So with regards to what I've been doing with gaming, yeah, I mean, Super Mario Brothers Wonder was 100%ed. It's actually not...
My internet, man. I think I got an
there he is. There's Charles.
But have hope, those, as we attack.
All right, we're back. So I was on my feet there, Charles. I started talking about the Panthers and the Bruins game, and talking about 100%ing Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I have been there when you take the calls.
So we are at 1 hour and 54 minutes. I think that was our turkey talk for this year. So let's head on over to the petty train. And
Well, I
then...
do have one question
okay.
about turkey talk.
Go.
Favorite dessert?
Gosh, at this point, I mean, I like apple pie and everything like that. We usually eat it with ice cream as well on the side. I don't really think you can go wrong with that, as just it seems very simple, but it's very nice. And there's a birthday cake ice cream that I bought for my sister about last month or so. so I know it's sitting there waiting for me, along with the apple pie. I like the Dutch apple pie
Dutch apple pies are good.
compared to the regular apple pie that you get at Publix, because they sell both of them. But I like the Dutch one. I like the crumbly bits. That always gets me.
Make it work.
Yeah. So that's my thing with
See.
the dessert.
I do like a good pumpkin pie because my mother's allergic to pumpkin pie, so I never bring it for them or anything like that. So it's like being forbidden. Don't care for pecan pie. Makes no sense to me, truthfully. You made a pie out of peanuts? What? What the hell it is? I'm like, no, thank you. And I always like cheesecake. So if you bring that, I'm happy. But then, Hispanic traditions, there's always flan.
Okay.
There's always flan.
All right. Well, so an hour 56. So we'll do the petty train, and then we got an actual review of the pay-per-view for AEW, right? Full Gear.
Oh, yeah, and goddamn it, I got to do a Survivor Series prediction too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
we'll get to it.
We're not there yet. So petty train, we're gonna run through it quick because I didn't really watch the NFL. I was on a plane and everything like that. It was just like an all day thing. So I didn't really. The most I've been able to glance at has been what Barry McCockiner and Urinating Tree have posted with their weekly reviews of all the games. I know some of the talking points at the very least from listening to Stat, Lebertard show, all that type of stuff. But we'll head there right now. 1 second, as soon as I get off of Cheap Ass Gamer, because I know I'll be looking at that after the show when you send me more deals for stuff. But the backlog will not go past 56, Charles. They cannot.
What's wrong? Why can't you make it to a Sweet 69?
No, I can't. It has to. I have to get it down to at least below 50. I need to find ways. I'm at
flexible there, bud.
100% in Mario when I didn't expect to, but it just the plane ride was very, very productive. So, all right, NFL scores. So let's go.
Let's do it. I'll do one word, or Will Leavis is better. That'll be my input.
I'll talk about the Dolphins right now. I'll just get it out the way. Nothing changes with my narrative. Nothing changes with the narrative that they beat a very terrible, very mediocre Raiders team and only beat them by one score. They had 400 plus yards, because I did see some of this game, Charles, for the most part before I had to leave for the airport. And nothing about it really was like, okay, the Dolphins are moving the ball. Tua throws for 325 yards, throws interception, this other stuff. And then you have the Raiders on the other side. Okay, Aiden O'Connell, not great.
Yeah, first round rookie.
But yet they're still within one score of the game by the end of it. And the Dolphins offense completely peters out in the fourth quarter too. So nothing about this game.
Devin Shane hurt again.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
your rush dude's back.
Yeah, and especially in this game, like, I don't know why they would rush this. You would think that the Dolphins would be comfortable in letting guys sit out for games like this, but it kind of does. I'm like, oh, well, they know that they have some things that are missing, that there are certain parts of their game that the defense actually showed out for once. For this one,
Jalen Ramsey's been good. I talked trash about him, but he's been fantastic.
He had a very, very good game. Nothing got past him in this one, and so he was the player of the game. I think defensive player of the week as well. So good on him. I've never had anything bad to say about him. He's a former Seminole, so there you go with that too. But nothing about the narrative of are the Dolphins good? Really. It has changed for me. Beat a real team. The Raiders are not a real team. You still haven't beaten them yet. And I don't
kind of want Antonio Pierce to keep that job.
Yeah, and I feel like now, thanks to certain things that are happening, Charles, in Cincy, in Cleveland, losing both of their quarterbacks, I feel like the Dolphin hype is getting higher and higher, and we're gonna prop up a team that, thanks to their competition playing under their potential or losing key figures to them, that we're going to see the Dolphins make it to like the division series or the division playoff round. And people were like, oh, we actually made good progress. And it's like, no, this is all a facade. This ain't real.
His hate boner, guys, is just legitimate
I
because
can't
he
believe
can't have
them.
hope.
And I
You're,
still can't
you're
believe.
Hawkeye when you're like, don't give me hope.
I still can't believe that this team can beat the Kansas City Chiefs when it
Everybody's
actually
been beating
matters the
Chiefs
most.
lately.
So,
Not that, can you beat the Ravens?
yeah, the Ravens too. The Ravens, the Chiefs, anybody in the AFC that will legitimately put it together by playoff time. Because right now, the regular season, I know those teams are good, and they'll find a way to make it work because that's when it actually matters. That's when it actually matters. The Browns somehow beat the Steelers, so that's the other game. 13-10, 7-3, Cleveland. Kenny Pickett, not good. Not a good.
Good. We were right about that. Poor. I look. I have to defend some white bread quarterback.
There
right?
we go. There
It's
it
that
is.
time.
There's the theme.
You know, so
Get the Wonder Bread out.
Kenny Pickett was always going to be what I consider a back. I had to watch him play in Pitt. You know this. You did too. Yeah, being part of the ACC, you know what was going to come of it and everything. It's not going to be the worst of the worst, but they fired Matt Canada. Will Levis is a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett, so I'm gonna go from there.
There you go.
But because the thing is, you've used first round picks in the last 3 years on some offense, like 2 of the 3. Najee Harris, who just isn't producing, and you can blame Matt Canada all you want, but if Matt Canada is gone and you're not doing anything, that's on you, dog. Sorry. And then now you also use that first round pick on Kenny Pickett when there was other guys that kind of build for depth or trade down. They were in the 20s when they picked Kenny Pickett, I think. So trade down. It's a no bueno.
All right,
No bueno.
but Cleveland wins.
Without Deshaun gets hurt.
So
We want them to make it for Myles Garrett and only for Myles. And Amari Cooper. I love Amari Cooper.
who could be a defensive or MVP. So
You wish, right?
it'd be fun to see for once.
Yeah. It's just rigged in this damn
Instead
game.
of just the quarterback will always win, which at that point Miles would just make it like a Cy Young deal, where it's like the QB Young or whatever. The Ravens beat the Bengals, but they lose Joe Burrow.
And the Ravens lost Mark Andrews as well. So your top offensive guy and another guy losing their top offensive guy. And nobody won this.
So there you go. The Lions beat the Bears.
Congratulations. You dunked on the little kid at the park.
Well, it's their first 8-2 season since since JFK was alive. Which today's the day, everybody. I mentioned Lee Harvey Oswald earlier today.
Oh my goodness!
When you were talking about Lee Corso and Lou Holtz, I'm like Lee Harvey Oswald. It's not too soon, guys.
Yeah, it's not too soon.
Let's see. The Packers beat the Chargers. Everybody's turning on Herbert now.
It could be Herbert, but I'm going to defend him a little bit. He wasn't playing the defense in the last pick. I'm not even going to say the Quentin Johnson thing, even though that was pinpoint. I'm not even going to blame the receiver. I think they had the lead, and they just gave it up. Brandon Staley called the defense, called the wrong play, and then he acted like he got angry, and he says, I'm still going to call the defense plays. And mind you, if your team's only let up like 23 points, then maybe it's not a problem, but it's just you have to change your plays and make sure no one's slicing and dicing in the last quarter, man. Just saying. We'll leave us a better quarterback than Justin Herbert.
Or Jordan
I will
Love.
not be taking any questions at this time.
Or Jordan Love.
Listen, man, I'm rooting for the kid. And the reason why I'm rooting for Jordan Love is because everybody's looking at the score, but they forget that Rodgers went 6-10 his first season. This Rodgers, it is Aaron exceptionalism, is what I'm going to call it. Like American exceptionalism.
All right. The Cowboys beat up on the Panthers.
Who cares, man? Like, you talk about the Dolphins not beating anybody, and I got a friend who's a Cowboys fan. Yeah, beat the teams that you're supposed to beat properly, right? But Jesus, don't take pride to this. And I feel bad for Bryce Young because I don't know if he's good or bad compared to CJ Stroud, where I'm just like, ooh, buddy, you're sexy, dog. I don't want that.
Speaking of, Texans beat the Cardinals 21-16.
Good for Kyler for kind of looking decent coming back. He came back from a heart injury. I'm not a Kyler guy, but you're going to kind of want some kind of support. We're not really those kind of jerks, so good for him. And CJ Stroud threw 3 picks, but he won the game. And now they've won 5 games, which is saying something, which on a team that wasn't winning anything for years.
Giants beat the Commanders.
Tommy DeVito. Ron Rivera's getting fired. I still don't know if Sam Howell is
Good or
a
not.
starting quarterback because he is a product at the end of the day of Eric Bieniemy, which is what pisses me off that the poor guy had to take a lateral move. Because if this doesn't get Bieniemy a starting job to take a 5th rounder who had only made 1 start in his professional career ahead of time, a job, I don't know. Then I'm going to call racism. I'm going to say that Mike, was it Flores, his last name? It's been a minute. Yeah, right. Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
I'm thinking Mike McDaniel, but Brian Flores is right. Because seriously, you take a 5th round quarterback from UNC, right? Is that Sam Howell? That's where he went. Who, he doesn't have the greatest weapons. We like Terry McLaurin, but he's leading at the moment. I think he's like top 3 in, passing yards and all this other stuff. Got to give Bieniemy a job. Let's be fair. Let's be right. Let's do this correctly.
All right. Then we have the Buccaneers and the 49ers.
Mike Evans is amazing. Will Levis is a little bit better than Baker Mayfield. I'm kind of on this Baker Mayfield. I just want him to get a job for a couple years. I think he's earned it because between the upper echelon guys, after that follows the Josh Allen and everybody else because Josh Allen is no longer the Patrick Mahomes MVP conversation. Sorry, kids. And then, all right, 49ers, you won a game against the Bucs who still have deficiencies. Let's see what happens because now I really don't trust Purdy after all this time. I feel like he really just needs healthy people, which everybody does, let's be fair. But there were some big deficiencies.
The Rams beat the Seahawks.
Man, you wonder. That NFC West is a bloodbath, dude. Bloodbath. Will Levis is a better quarterback than Matt Stafford. He is basically what I need him to be just like Matt Stafford.
Okay.
Just relax.
The Broncos beat the Vikings. Back to 500. So Sean Payton has found a way, Charles.
Did he really find a way? Or did Kevin McConnell? And that's the thing. You have to be opportunistic, and life's about opportunity. But I think people also do need to realize that we fall in love with the Josh Dobbs story, right? We have. And I like Josh Dobbs. I hope he actually gets a legitimate job as a backup somewhere. I don't forgive him for not being able to move the ball in Tennessee. But granted, to be fair, it was because at that time, Todd Downing didn't know how to call offensive plays. So it's a little bit
getting fuzzy, Charles. There we go.
Oh, sorry. It's because I'm leaning in. I just don't want Sean Payton to succeed. I know it sounds petty. I know it sounds terrible. But, you really do kind of learn to appreciate everything else. And
Russell Wilson bailing himself out.
Yeah. It's just also Sean Payton's not likable. Sean Payton's not likable. Can we say that now?
Yeah. I guess. He was on TV. I don't even remember anything about him being on TV. Right?
Yeah. He had that one year because he knew he was purposely
looked kind of weird in the suit. He's got a weird body.
Yeah. he's literally this. He's a microwave body with a head.
The Eagles beat the Chiefs.
That was a good game. I did watch that because I was trying to download Pokemon Scarlet on my phone, but it was enjoyable. The Chiefs are like the worst 9-1 team I've ever seen. Or not the Chiefs. The Eagles are the worst 9-1 teams. I feel like Kansas City could come it together. I think them holding plays kind of affected them and everything like that. But people forget Mahomes did throw a pick, yeah. But fumbles happen. No one's catching the ball. I understand. People are like, Charles, you're making excuses. I'm making observations. It's not excuses. There was fumbles. There was people who do not catch the ball. Watson, even on the 4th and 25, Mahomes put that in his breadbasket, dude. That's amazing. Y'all just hate it because you don't want another Brady. You don't want another Peyton. But guess what? I'm always going to support Mahomes. I'm going to dick ride him. 18.
Alrighty.
Because when you don't have a quarterback, now I might have a quarterback. If I can get Will Levis to be that ceiling, I will just flood the gates. I'll get the Levis lefty coming in.
Alrighty. Let's see. So we've got. Let's see. That's that. Let's just see which is that we have left. Your game.
Well,
Jaguars and the Titans.
Listen, don't try hard.
Oh wait, I forgot. There was let's see who. The Bills beat the Jets. That's right.
Man, poor Josh. Here's a good controversy of a question that I propose to people. How much leeway are you going to give to Robert Saleh to not fire him because it was him who's like, we're gonna get Nathaniel Hackett to be offensive coordinator. This offense might have looked exactly the same with Aaron Rodgers. 1. 2, there's no O-line, so that's on the GM. 3, shouldn't you fire a coach that is playing great defensively but couldn't make the call on a season that you had high expectations of to just bench his quarterback for Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian when you already knew the controversy of what your quarterback was, that he was simply not good enough to begin with? I don't think it's out of line. I really don't. And some people are like, no, he needs a chance because, you know, XYZ and Zach Wilson. I'm like, yeah, but it's your call as a coach to evaluate the talent and put in the best players to win.
And what do you want somebody that, I'm just thinking of the Bucks with Brady, where okay, you bring Bruce Arians in, you know he's pretty good, and you got an experienced guy there, and they can call the plays, and you got the quarterback. You just try and squeeze out 2-3 years out of it.
Everything was facilitated to just lick the base of the penis of Aaron Rodgers. Plain and simple. The Nathaniel Hackett hire. You can't tell me Nathaniel Hackett's the guy that you want, considering the fact that he got fired in his first season, not even be able to complete the season for being offensively inept and not being able to do play calls. And the stuff he's been writing isn't good. You're not being offensively creative about what you want to do with the ball anyway, because you have Dalvin Cook, who is still good, in my opinion. You know, he's just not getting chances at Breece Hall, and you guys aren't just running the ball. You got Garrett Wilson. You didn't construct a good team, and that's fine. You can blame Joe Douglas all you want. I believe that's who the GM is. You know, I don't care, but why can't you evaluate the idea that you were benching Zach Wilson last year at the same time, at the same juncture you were benching him? And you had a defense can carry, a run game can carry. I'm a Titans fan. I've seen it multiple times with 3 coaches, Fisher, Malarkey, Vrabel. Literally, it could be done. You can make up those things, but if you can't game plan, I feel it's just resting on your laurels. So Salah's in year 3. Why do you need him for year 4? Oh, Aaron might not like it. He's on a contract. He's on a contract. He doesn't like it. Trade him. Seriously.
And all right, now we're at your game.
Tank it. I don't care. It's fine. We have deficiencies. We're offensively bad. I think Tim Kelly should not be coming back as our OC.
Well, all right, so let's take the positives. How did your boy Levis do?
He wasn't great, but like there's no one to throw to. Yeah, well, it's garbage time. It was once to Jeffrey Simmons, who was a stud of a defensive lineman. Did you see that tackle? I think I sent it to you.
Yeah, fat man touchdown. There we go.
Fat man touchdown. But, you know, he's more than a fat man. He's not a lineman. He's a defensive beast. He's an animal. He's a monster, and I love him. And then the other one was like a trickery. But we don't have the wide receiver depth, which was part of Ron Coughlin's fault. Because you got DeAndre Hopkins, but the idea was like we needed more. We're working on Kyle Phillips and Chris Moore to do so because Traylon Burks, our first-round pick, is injured again. And, you know, time are running out on him. So go for Marvin Harrison Jr. or Keon Coleman if they become available in the draft. Tank it. It's okay. I will take 1 year of the suck because what I'm learning and what I'm seeing is that there is no consistency in the AFC South. We don't know where Texas is going to be next year. We do not know where the Jaguars, they are probably going to win it and make the playoffs. That is not a team anyone's scared of.
All right. Okay, so that's the petty train. We're at 214, Charles. So there was you actually paid for and watched some stuff. So let's hear your review, your preview.
All right, so let me go into it. Welcome, everybody, to your weekly Truplex The Cage with Charles. Full disclaimer, wrestling is not fake. It's scripted. It's a stage fight. It's a song and dance. It's about men and women beating the holy hell out. If you try to trust me, I got a match to tell you guys real quick about it. It's going to be, I'll wait till I actually evaluate going from there. It's about men and women chasing championships, establishing legacies, trying to entertain me, and also die for me, apparently. A lot have happened. We're going to do the AEW last. We're going to do Survivor Series now. I'm just going to hit the hard parts. He's got the predictions. Randy Orton's coming back. They're going to do War Games. We've talked about it last year. If you want some info for the brevity of time, just go read it on Twitter. Please follow it on the X. Matches that have been announced. Gunther versus Miz for the IC belt. I like it. It's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion versus the champion who is tied for the most Intercontinental title holds. Miz is obviously going to lose. Gunther wins. We love Gunther. Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. I haven't been invested into it. Rhea Ripley wins. You're going to have Carlito versus Santos Escobar. It's kind of a pseudo blood feud where Carlito was Rey's boy. Santos Escobar was part of LWO with Rey Mysterio, and then he turned on him the last couple weeks and it's been doing good. And so Santos wins, right? You have Team Bianca versus Damage Control. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, Becky Lynch in War Games for Damage Control. which is Bailey, now Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. This can go either way. If I booked it, I would have. You have to have the heels win, but you can have them lose if Bailey is the one who's pinned, and then you have damage control of being Asuka, Io, and Kairi kick Bailey out. Dakota Kai is still injured for ACL injury. She should be back maybe in January, which really will probably be February, which really means we'll get it at some point in Mania. But if you want to turn Bailey face, and it's time she's been a heel for since pandemic days, it's time. Things go stale. You have to switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? You have to make it interesting. So it can go either way. And then War Games for the men's: Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton's coming back after being gone for 540 days. Andrew had text us in the chat asking if it was a real injury. It was. He had a severe back injury. It took him out of commission. Wrestling is actually real, guys, where you get real injuries, just like football, and baseball and hockey. People have died in there, in wrestling. Looking at you, Owen Hart. Thanks, Vince. Well, granted, that wasn't in the match itself, but I digress. Shibata is all who you need to know. The guy had a spinal injury and a brain injury, and had surgery, part of his brain removed. Versus Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. War Games is usually entertaining time. It's 2 rings in a cage, people come and go. You win the advancement of it. Judgment Day, I believe. And Drew McIntyre is gonna be there. Drew just turned. Drew's heel turn has been great because it's a logical heel turn. He's like, Drew's heel turn is basically why are you guys booing me? I'm right. And the whole thing is I got screwed over by the Bloodline and by Jey Uso, by everybody. I'm just not gonna take this shit anymore. I'm done being the nice guy, and that's relatable, right? He's putting his big boy pants on, and I've needed Drew to be a heel for a long time because he's been a face for 3 years. So just like Bailey was a heel for too long, Drew was a face for too long. I don't know what you do with it for people holding titles with Seth, because Seth's been holding that belt too long. I thought he should have for 2 months and then drop it to Finn. But I need Team Cody to win because I'm over Judgment Day. I've told you they have go home heat for me. They've gotten a little bit better, but it's because it's drying out. And you want to see what the potential. You can keep Rhea and Dominic together if you want, because eventually we're gonna get Rhea versus Dominic Part 2 for retirement match maybe or something like that. We can do it, but we need to end it in this time. And it'll be interesting to Randy. What I've liked what they're doing is the fact that you're having. So what you got to remember is Randy didn't just say, I have an injury, I'm not going to go from there. They injured him on TV to make it seem like he's out of commission, but he was legitimately injured. So they just played off. Jey Uso was part of that when he was still in the bloodline. So Jay's like, oh, crap, it's Randy. So we're going to get something out of that. And I'm for it because why? After Survivor Series is Royal Rumble. So I am getting the benefits of all the storyline that's happening in November when I'm there in Tampa, January 27th, with my massively erect self. And my paralegal will be there too. And Derek and I are super excited for it coming into it. So that's what I'll give you on AEW. On WWE. Let's shift gears to AEW. I paid for a pay-per-view. So the gaming lull kind of hits. It was Saturday. I wasn't going out
you
or anything
were
like that.
You were.
I beat Sonic Frontier, so it wasn't really a gaming lull. It's just I didn't want to jump into something so quickly after beating it. You got to give some separation.
And you were you were on the fence of whether you wanted to get this particular PPV.
Yeah, and it was because the thing is, there was feuds that I was for, such as Hangman versus Swerve, and then Cassidy versus Moxley, and I'm like, all right. There was feuds that I knew weren't my cup of tea, such as the Golden Jets, which is Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are a hard sell for me. I'm not in love with them kind of thing. I was kind of on the fence about MJF versus Jay White because Jay White is not the champion, but he's stolen MJF's title belt for 5 weeks. And I'm like, well, if you're parading around like a clown, you're not going to win, right? Because he's being the cartoonish heel before he gets to be the serious heel. But I said, Charles, don't you want to get tacos from the taco shack and, pretzel bites with chorizo cheese dip? I'm like, yeah, I do. Don't you want to do that sitting down watching Fulger? I'm like, yeah. Do you want to pirate it? I'm like, I don't want to give my computer, the computer, disease. And most pirating places don't. But part of it is also you want the quality of resolution. And it's like, sometimes you should pay for a good product. I don't watch a lot of AEW. I do. I watch a lot of Dynamite, that. But I don't pay for a lot of pay-per-views. So I'm like, I could do it. The thing is that Forbidden Door left kind of a sour taste in my mouth, because the Danielson Okada match, where they're doing part 2 in January, was good, but Danielson legitimately broke his arm, so he only went on 10 more minutes from it. And then the only real one that stood out to me was the Fatal 4-Way match for the international title. But I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna do it. I did it for the tacos, baby. I did it for the tacos, because I think it's fair that once a year I get a pay-per-view from AEW. You have to. Diversity is the spice of life, right? And that's what you have to do with your wrestling. And I'm very glad I did. The pay-per-view was great. It was very good. It had not the best match of the year. Hear me out. Because I don't compare the two brands, because it's not fair to say that for AEW over WWE, because I don't watch all their pay-per-views. So how can it be subjective to it? How can it be objective without being subjective? It has the greatest match of the year that I've seen. It will not be topped. It won't be topped in November. There's no more pay-per-views coming from WWE after Survivor Series. I'm not going to pay for World's End, which is the next pay-per-view AEW in December, because now they increased to 8. They had the greatest match there that I've seen this year. Like, it was something. You know what it is, but let's go do it on the rundown. We're not going to talk about the pre-show stuff. It's just pre-show. You had Sting, Darby Allin, and Edge, where now is Adam Copeland, going against Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. As we called, Team Sting, Team Copeland won, pinning Luchasaurus. It's going to further a story, which is fine. Sometimes you need that with pay-per-views. Orange Cassidy versus Moxley kind of disappointed me a little bit. I did watch some highlights from the first bout, and I thought it was very good. But my problem is that, the whole story with it is that he's being obsessive with trying to beat Moxley, because Moxley took his belt away from him after Cassidy had for so long. And the International Championship is probably like the second most important men's championship now. And part of it is who's on the belt, and what they're doing with it. The match was fine. It was good. It was a little short. Moxley had the kind of like the final boss vibes. But, overall, I felt it could have been better, but it was fine. Toni Storm beat Hikaru Shida, which I kind of felt that was coming, because Timeless Toni Storm has been a good classic. She's kind of doing like that mad actress kind of vibe. There was a botch though, because how she won is, so what she does is like a hip attack that runs her butt or her hip into her opponent's face when it gets the ropes, and she put like, I guess, a frying pan in there, but it was clearly visible. And so the idea, you can suspend disbelief a lot in wrestling, where you're supposed to, it's theater, right? But the ref, you can see it out of like Tony's butt cheek that's popping out. So it was an interesting visual, but whatever. I felt like Shida should have had actually a win in there, and you could have downward spot. But I don't book this stuff. But the match was fine for what it was worth. Buddy, the tag team match, that was a ladder match, the Fatal 4-Way of Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending their titles against La Fashion Ingobernables versus FTR versus the Kings of Black Throne and Malachi Black and Brody King, was awesome. It took a while to get there, but the whole thing is both title belts are up there. You need teams to win. Ricky Starks and Big Bill won, as I had predicted. I was like perfect for my predictions, which is great coming into it. But it was very brutal. It was very visceral. I sent you the tweet of Brody King, who I like, doing the Gonzo bomb on Dorlistico on the ladder.
I'm liking this. Is this what I'm seeing on the screen here? Can you see it?
Yeah, I had to just
like using the ropes to kind of bend the ladder back, whatever.
Yeah, it's just a setup because they want to do another spot with it, because it was Dash who was going from there. But it was a cool visual. It was kind of brutal. There was another one with Malachi just slingshotted a ladder against Dash, who was coming at him to hit him, and at the end,
yeah, that's what I'm showing here.
Yeah. And at the end, Ricky Starks and Big Bill won, because they only just won the titles last month. So like, let's not do transitional champions. The tag team belts have kind of faltered a little bit. Let's bring some esteem into it. So the match was great. It was a good old time. It was violent. It was destructive, but it's a ladder match, so it's not supposed to be civil. You know what I mean? It takes away some of the constructs of like, hey, we're not going to do all this stuff. We're going to go from there. We're going to make it unconventional. We're going to mess some people up and go from that. And I was like, yeah, man, it was my cup of tea. Women's triple threat match for the TBS championship, which is what I would say the second tier title, even though Tony Khan wants to say it's equal. And Tony Khan, you did a good job. You got $50 from me. Okay, fine. Was really good. I thought Julia Hart beat Chris Statlander in Sky Blue, because Chris Statlander, who's the one who came out in the dodgeball gear, which I always sent you, because a couple pay-per-views ago she showed up as Zoolander, so she's a big Ben Stiller fan, which makes me a fan. All three of them are very talented. I appreciate them. I just felt like it was a good time for Julia Hart to win, and I think we talked about it because I was re-listening to my part of the show, because I knew I was going to speak on it. was that you couldn't have 2 title changes, in my opinion, in multi-person matches. So I was right on the picks. Look at that. But it was a good match. They impressed me. I was satisfied. It was good. We're gonna go to the main event. So what happened? And I should explain this. What happened was MJF defended 2 titles that day. On the pre-show, he defended the tag titles, the Ring of Honor tag titles against the Guns, and then he had the Guns are in the stable with Jay White, who was in the main event, which was they're part of the Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang, whatever. So after the Ring of Honor, because he got Samoa Joe to help team up, because remember the story was MJF and Adam Cole Ring of Honor champions, tag team champions. But what happened was after the match was done, the Guns had attacked MJF, hit his chair, and they sent him off in an ambulance. I'm like, ooh, I don't like this. This is kind of like some tomfoolery that's going on.
I'm showing him coming in from an ambulance truck.
Yeah, and then he comes back because what they were doing is that for whatever reason, Adam Cole was there. He was on the crutches. Adam Cole broke his ankle, right? And he said, and MJF's going at him like, Adam, don't let him forfeit. Don't let me lose my belt. Don't let me go from there. So for whatever reason, Adam Cole, who's legitimately injured, comes and says to Jay White, because they had a segment in the middle of the pay-per-view where Jay White's like, just crown me as champ, whatever. And then Tony Schiavone's there's like, well, I have no by authority. I have to. So it's going to be a default. And Adam Cole comes to crutches. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to do it. I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. This is too drawn out. So let's just say Adam Cole, who was legitimately injured, broken ankle with crutches, did not have to defend the title. MJF came back because they're telling a story of like the persevering champion. Remember, MJF used to be a heel for like 4 years. So now he's in this babyface run. So they're getting some diversity and variety. It took me out of it a little bit because of it. Because you know where it's pretty good. I'd rather not just have it happen. I'd rather just the injury happened before the match. Then go to the ambulance, and you're saving that drama, and you're having questions like, can I do this or not? There was good storytelling. There was a lot of limb work by Jay White, and it goes 30 minutes long for a match, and it's kind of tough. It did hit him to high gears because there was good storyline about whether or not Adam Cole should throw in the towel on MJF's behalf as Jay White's doing submissions and attacking the leg, because if you throw in the towel, championship is forfeited, right? You know, the person wants to quit, but someone's in your better interest is doing it for you if they're playing off as your manager. But how it ends is that, you know, MJF takes the dynamite ring, knocks out Jay White. He out cheated Jay White because Jay White was trying to cheat, and then MJF did it. Match was fine. You know, would I have booked it differently to my appeal? Sure, but I'll still get respect because the final like 5 minutes had my sequence. Now let's talk about the greatest match that I have seen this year, and it is going to be on my mind. The good thing about buying these pay-per-views is I keep that pay-per-view. I can watch that entire match again soon, and I might do it as I'm ranking my list of the top 5s or top 10s. Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page have been in a feud for like 2 months or a month and a half. We've talked about it. They wrestled at Wrestle Dream, and then there was a cheat to win. And then we talked about how last week Swerve had broken into Hangman's house in the past, and, you know, talked to his kid and left his t-shirt on the kid. Like, what a great way of just saying your dad ain't crap, right? And it was a Texas death match, and Texas death match is like all out, everything goes, and the only way you kind of win is either by, you know, knockout or submission, or you can't get up to the 10 count. I can understand how people said that they don't like it because it made them feel uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable, but I couldn't turn away because it fit the story. This is a blood feud. This is legitimately like people hating each other. So the staple,
Bruins Panthers.
Yeah, Bruins Panthers,
Panthers
right?
lost, by the way.
And did they? Well, sorry. You know, I guess I'll have to play as the Bruins as they were 5 off. And I sent you a lot of clips, and I know Andrew was grossed out. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, look, I was
showing the
out.
intros right now on the screen.
And there was only intro for Swerve because Hangman, it's a blood feud, didn't want to come out for entrance music. He came to whoop some ass, right? 19. But the staple sessions where he literally Hangman stapled Swerve's chest. He stapled his face. He stapled because he broke into his house.
He sent me the screenshots. It looked very painful.
I think there was a deep cut on Swerve, but you got to remember, you got to respect that these guys are doing, because at the end of the day, it is a carny sport. You do it for the roar of the crowd, for the applause, and everybody likes applause, right? There's nothing worse than not having the applause, but it fit. All of it fit. Everything fit the way that you want to do it. Fit. He stapled his son's macaroni art or drawings onto the man's face, and then he drank the blood and spat it out. And I was like, I literally am watching. I'm like, oh, fucking gross, 20, 20. But I could not turn away because it made sense. You legitimately hated somebody. You're in a Texas death match. You need death in that component. It was one of the best modern day Texas death matches I've seen. Hangman's known for the death match, and they had other spots. The broken glass, the barbed wire. You saw the barbed wire legitimately caught onto Hangman's skin.
Yeah.
As it was in fact. Swerve, who was his whole face was crimson red, and I gotta tell you, it's very daunting, and I don't think people realize because there's not a lot of and I'm gonna preface this. I'm not saying this in a political fashion when I talk about how much blood. Swerve, his entire face was covered red for either anybody who's white or black to be covered in that red to be crimson masked is jarring of how much blood. I was concerned. I think I was thinking if it was the Eddie Guerrero botch where Eddie cut too deep and he lost all that blood. He had to go to the transfusion. These guys are doing it for me, and they were just all amazing. What's amazing is that Hangman was pulling in the babyface resiliency of never say die because he kept getting up the 10 count. Swerve kept getting up the 10 count. Nana, who is Swerve's manager, helped him out before into it. They were doing the Crown of Thorns thing with the barbed wire, the barbed wire chair, the table, going through the chair, doing the fall away slam. It was hitting all that beats. And yeah, did Brian Cage coming in because he's part of Mogul's Embassy, which is Swerve's faction, kind of take me out of it because he came in so late into the game? Kind of, because there was interference, but it kind of makes sense though because if it's Texas deathmatch, there are no rules. It's just survive. And then Hangman Page was able to kind of get that resilience. He hit Cage with the barbed wire on his arms, everything. That tombstone was just so good, everything.
Lord.
And then there was a point that I fell in love because when Hangman, still in the beginning, this was like 20 something minutes, man, but still in the beginning, the match was a total of 29 minutes and 55 seconds. 30 minutes these guys are going on, they're bleeding up. There's pile drivers.
I'm just looking at the freaking floor splattered.
Yeah, but
Like
they
Splatoon.
hate, but the whole thing is they hate each other. It is a blood feud. I've set you guys up onto this. This is how it's supposed to be. But there was a scene that stuck out to me the most, not the stapling in the face, but when Hangman went back to doing the staples on Swerve's chest, and Swerve's like, this don't matter anymore. This don't matter, I don't feel it. He's walking like a zombie, like a man who's about to commit murder. And then it ends because Swerve hits Hangman in the back with a cinder block, and he still gets up before the 10 count at the 9, and then Swerve puts a chain around his neck and chokes him out with it, and then that's it. And I felt like I went to hell and back with these men because that was the whole premise. I'm gonna bring you to hell and go from there.
You're getting fuzzy.
Yeah, oh, can you hear me now?
Still fuzzy.
Oh no.
I can hear you, but I
still
hear
fuzzy.
the fuzz.
Well, better.
Nah, it's getting worse. You're getting worse. There it is.
There we go.
is.
So the whole thing is like the whole premise was Hangman saying that he was going to take Swerve to hell and keep him there.
I saw a minute of it right now. I'm just like,
It's fantastic. I'll tell you guys to watch it.
oh my god.
It's amazing how you guys love
NSFW.
brutality. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that jarring?
The thing is, in hockey, we don't really. I mean, you don't really see guys bleeding, and when there is blood, those are 5-minute majors.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because you knock some guy's mouth with your stick,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, there's fighting and everything like that. And every once in a while, you get some guys that get clocked pretty good, right? And that seems to be exciting for me. But like with I guess this, and I'm seeing it, it's like a prolonged thing. Hockey, it's kind of fleeting. Okay, they kind of fight for like a minute and there you go, or you get your teeth knocked out and it's like, okay, fine, you pick them up and keep going,
Because this is a legitimate fight. And here's the thing, I didn't mention it in the beginning. The match starts within the first 5 minutes of Hangman drinks Swerve's blood down his mouth and spits it up. And I know that made people feel uncomfortable. I mentioned to begin with. For me, it meant like, this is serious shit. 21. I'm like, yeah, like if you're gonna tell me that you want to kill each other, like that's it. Because I'm like, yeah, man. Like I know
I'm
that.
seeing
Look.
the staple to the face of the
But it's great.
It's
and then,
brutal and funny at the same time.
But watch it because it's gonna lead to him ripping it. So he rips it. It's even better. And I've seen some. No, yeah, you gotta
I'm
endure it.
keeping
You
it
gotta do
tiny
it.
because I don't want to grow it anymore.
And then here we go. And here he comes up,
gosh.
and then comes a scene that made me say, "What?"
Oh, he's drinking
That's
it.
legitimate blood. And then But here's the thing that kills me, or people and he spits it out. Like I'm like, holy crap! Is that Paige is your baby face? He really is the face of your franchise. You can never turn this guy heel in my eyes because he's doing it in the name of his family and his son. That's how you make a baby face, not vanilla. You know how I always say it's easy to love a heel and make a heel work. How do you make a baby face? Is that you make a baby face is who's going to commit murder because he's the cowboy, and I absolutely loved it, man. I like greatest match I've seen this year. It's probably one of my top 5 that's going to stay with me. It's what you show to non-wrestling fans who think it's all the acrobatic stuff. I'm like, well, if it's about storyline and hatred and blood feud, it's fine. It's your Western showdowns. It's your big fights that come into it. It's your good guy, bad guy protagonists come into it. It's Chinatown, baby. You know what's happening. And I loved it. And the problem is that there was another match that followed the tag team match of the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks. I'm like, I don't even care about this. I just walked out. I went to go eat something, go from there, because it just like cooled off. So I was very glad I paid the $50 because I got to see the greatest match of the year. I don't know if you watch Parks and Recs, but you know when the doctor sees Jerry, and Jerry's always the comedical thing, is like, that man has literally the largest penis I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you laugh, but that's how I felt about it. I was like, that pay-per-view had the greatest match I saw this year.
Wow.
And I've watched a lot of WWE wrestling. I've watched 2 or 3 AEW pay-per-views. I think 2. I watched some on the illegal stuff, and that's it. But some people were saying Omega Osprey 1, valid. I watched it. It was good. Some people were saying Omega Osprey 2, a little bit too long for my liking. I'm saying this is my number 1 for AEW, but I'm saying number 1 overall of what I watched.
Wow.
Into it. Like it's because it's not for me. And this is beating. And I have to really think of the list, but I know Owen, Sammy versus the Usos was up there, as my considered.
Well, that was because of the emotional roller coaster of it all.
It is beating Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. I don't think you understand how much I love that match for a guy who's not a trained professional wrestler to make you excited and hyped in, everything of that nature. So it comes into it. 1 second.
He'd spank the Cavs, by the way.
Yeah, because we're a legitimate team. Remember how everybody's like, oh, this is actually a better constructed roster than what you think, coming into it. Spanking the Cavs are supposed to be contenders. But that's the whole thing. Like, when it's how I felt about Gunther Sheamus last year. I'm like, or Gunther Dragunov too. I'm like, all right, I just know for me. But when I say it's big-ish, if I'm going and saying, listen, we're now 10-5, that's a good record. When I say that it's going to be like miles ahead, it's miles. Like, Kyle Lowry had 28 points. What the hell? What the hell? But that's and Triple J had 22 points. I'm feeling that sensation how I felt about Hangman and Swerve the same way I'm feeling now about this Heat game. But that is all I got for you in Cage. And I'll tell you guys, you might feel uncomfortable with it, but yes, it's real blood, but y'all love them. Y'all people were loving the Halloween stuff last year, right? Put some respect on these wrestlers. That's all I'm going to give you for the Cage.
Okay. Well.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's gruesome. It's very gruesome.
You're uncomfortable, but it makes
I
sense.
am uncomfortable looking at it. But yeah, man, that is something. Well, I guess that's it for us, Charles. This one went long, but I mean, yeah, we'll be
It's
back.
holiday based.
Yeah, we'll be back. Let's see. I'm trying to think of our schedule now because we are at 186, and it is.
I think by Christmas time we're out.
Last week of November, so that'll be 187, 188. We might go up to 189 or something, and stop it there, or 190. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. We might have like 4 more in us, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I think I want to come back for the Royal Rumble.
That's right. Yeah, so we can have our break before the NFL playoffs start.
Yeah,
and the college bowls or whatever.
Because I the Cage is really gonna, and trust me, there will be some AEW and New Japan.
We need a
love,
big preview for that. We really do need to do the big preview.
Yeah, so it's like I think we can make it, because obviously if we have to skip but there's Christmas games and it's the end of the season.
But we never do Christmas. We've never done Christmas.
Yeah, but this has been a weird, even though it's a year, we break them off as seasons in one annual year.
This year's been weird. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had to stay longer.
Yeah.
So it's like we're making
Playoffs.
up in sweat equity. So the idea is we can shorten December a little bit.
Okay.
But there's some stuff to kind of address on, because the thing is that, in my opinion too, come January is when basketball matters to me hardcore.
Yeah.
And hockey matters. And then like I know he's busy. I'm gonna put it out there in case he listens. I want to bring him on back for the New Year's Six Bowl stuff for Andrew. That's
Yeah.
his bread and butter. That's his baby. We do have to honor it because you and I haven't watched a college football finals
Yeah.
in 4 years because it's always a shutout for me.
Yeah,
So
and if everything goes well, the year of Francisco could continue with the Seminoles being in the playoffs. So
precisely.
all right, well, that's it. This is a long one, but we're done. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And one
Happy
more thing. Can I do the shout out?
Go
Because there's never a guarantee because we had to do it Wednesday, and I usually do on the Tuesday they'll come in. Giving Tuesday, November 28th.
Yes.
They match the donations, whatever you do. I think sometimes we think about donations of either it's just only for rich people we want to do for taxes. Put five. I work for a nonprofit. That's why I always give the shout out, even though I won't donate to my nonprofit because I work there. But I'm always doing Humane Society. I'm always doing St. Jude's. I'm always doing the food bank. I think that's always important. Being in the positions that we're to help out any way, shape, or forms. Kids, people who need to be fed. Animals, of course, we love it. $5, they match the $5. $10, they match the 10. You're gonna get a lot of stuff for the holiday season. That thing that you want to buy yourself. If you want fast food, just don't buy fast food for one day. Don't buy fast food for one day. Don't buy the fast food meal that's $10. Give to you for those help out because at the end of the day, even though we have this isolationist mentality that runs in this damn country, the whole thing is we are connected to people. And then you live in the neighborhood where everybody's the similarities to you, looking left and right. So if you're not, if you're well off or you're okay, your left and right are going to be okay, right? But the people who are streets down, roads down, miles down, they might be in different situations. So whatever you find your capacity to do Give Tuesday. I do it every year. I always use this platform for show to do it. Always do it.
Yeah, I've and just to, I guess, speak about that. I mean, there's plenty of charities for something that you yourself could care about, right? All of these teams, all these sports teams, right? If you're a fan of a team that's a sports show, go give to their foundation, right? Every single one of the Marlins have one, the Panthers have one. I've donated to those, and I've donated to the Florida Wildlife Corridor to help the actual Florida Panthers try and survive down here in South Florida. World Wildlife Fund. I always like buying gifts for the kids, like plushes and stuff, and it goes to that. So, and I get the cool calendars with all the animals on it. So there's always something out there. If you don't care about people, you can care about something else, like the environment or animals and things like that. So they're out there. So yeah, that's a good one, Charles. A good plug. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.